After getting drunk, I took the female CEO to be my wife. Jiang Chen was reborn to help his friend Xiaolang express his love. Due to a headache caused by drunkenness, he mistakenly sent a message to the cold-blooded CEO Su Zining. It's a bit abrupt to bring this up rashly. But I've endured the long nights of missing you and the long-lasting secret love. Jiang Chen started with earthy love words, and his moves were as fierce as a tiger. The next day, the CEO's office. Jiang Chen, we can try. Jiang Chen, what to try? Taking out his phone, Jiang Chen was stunned. I sent all those love words I said last night to my boss. She actually agreed. Jiang Chen was completely dumbfounded, and at this moment, a mechanical voice sounded. Ding, congratulations to the host for awakening the lover bond system. Chapter 1, Drunken, Love Words in the Making. On Blue Star, in the Huajian Court residential area. Jiang Chen, still a bit hazy from the alcohol, opened the door to his house and looked at the familiar surroundings. He let out a long sigh. Luckily, I didn't end up at Aunt Wang's place next door. Women, 30 is like a wolf, 40 like a tiger. If I really went there by mistake, I wouldn't be able to run away. Jiang Chen's face was slightly flushed from the alcohol, and there was a hint of swagger in his expression. His eyebrows were sharp, exuding heroism, and his profile was incredibly handsome. Standing at 183 centimeters, he was more than enough to catch anyone's eye. In reality, he had been reborn. He had woken up that afternoon to realize that he had somehow been reborn to when he had just graduated and started working. And being reborn meant one thing: he had mastered the time difference and the secret to wealth. Was this the perfect opportunity for a smooth rise? As soon as work ended, Jiang Chen didn't hesitate to grab his buddy Xiaolang and go out for a drink. At that moment, his phone rang. It was Xiaolang calling. Brother Chen, you're home, right? My hands are shaking. I'm just waiting for you to make your move. Earlier, while they were having dinner and drinking, Xiaolang had decided to confess to the woman he had secretly admired for a long time. But since he didn't know how to speak well and was terrible at saying romantic words, he had called Jiang Chen for help. Jiang Chen, the ladies' man from high school, the one who had love letters filling up his backpack every day. Hearing Xiaolang's words, a smile curled on Jiang Chen's lips. Don't worry, bro. I've got you covered. I'll make sure you get Secretary Zhang, just watch how I handle this. Xiaolang chuckled. Thanks, Brother Chen. Here's the deal. To help you better understand Secretary Zhang's feelings. Whatever she replies to me, I'll send to you. In our chat, you're me, and I'm Secretary Zhang. You just reply, and I'll copy-paste it. Jiang Chen paused for a moment, thinking that this was actually a good idea. It's like stepping into her shoes and recreating the confession scene, right? When Xiaolang sends a message, it'll be like Secretary Zhang is replying to him. Jiang Chen will reply, and Xiaolang can just copy-paste it, saving a lot of hassle. No problem, brother. Let us go for it. I'll use all my experience to make sure you get the girl today. After hanging up, Jiang Chen felt a wave of dizziness. Damn, he had drunk a bit too much. At that moment, Jiang Chen really just wanted to crash and sleep. But since he had promised to help Xiaolang, and even got a free meal out of it, he couldn't just leave him hanging without saying anything. So, time to work. Jiang Chen opened his messaging app, quickly typed out 2 messages. I know it's sudden, and I'm sure bringing this up now is awkward. But after enduring countless nights of longing and surviving endless unspoken love, I can't hide my feelings for you anymore. When a love master steps in, you know it's either a hit or miss. However, Jiang Chen was too tired, and his full attention was focused on the typing box at the bottom of the screen. Because Xiaolang had always been a bit slow, Jiang Chen was worried about typing errors, which would mess up the copy-paste process. After all, a confession like this needed to be perfect. So Jiang Chen didn't notice the name of the friend he was messaging. It wasn't Xiaolang, but rather, Secretary Su Zining, CEO. At Huayang International, in the CEO's office. It was already 10 p.m., but the lights were still brightly on. Su Zining was looking down at some documents. Suddenly, her phone vibrated twice. Su Zining furrowed her brow and looked up, her face cold and beautiful. With delicate brows and a tear mole beneath her right eye, her skin was fair as porcelain. What could this message be at such a late hour? Unlocking her phone, Su Zining opened her messaging app. It was 2 messages from Jiang Chen in the RD department. Su Zining had a strong impression of Jiang Chen. He had just graduated, with impressive talents in research and development. This afternoon, they had been chatting about a new perfume project. And then there was Jiang Chen's devilishly handsome face. Even Su Zining, despite her icy demeanor, occasionally found herself sneaking a glance. After all, even a cold CEO needs to appreciate a good-looking guy, right? But when Su Zining read the 2 messages from Jiang Chen, her blood pressure instantly shot up. Frowning deeply, she quickly replied with a single question mark. She couldn't understand. At Huajian court, Jiang Chen sucked in a breath of cold air. This isn't right, Secretary Zhang only replied with a question mark. Other people might not know, but Jiang Chen was clear. He was reborn, after all, and he knew one thing. Secretary Zhang was definitely interested in Xiaolang. So, why was her response like this? He thought for a moment. I get it. She's pretending to be aloof. Jiang Chen had an epiphany and smiled slyly. Looks like it's time to get more cheesy with the love talk. Oh, right. There's probably no such thing as cheesy love words yet, right? Using corny lines on a woman who already likes you is the perfect move. Jiang Chen chuckled to himself. He couldn't believe it. Last time, he'd been forced to use these lines in a short video app. And now, they were actually going to help Xiaolang confess. What kind of taste? Seeing Xiaolang message again, Jiang Chen hurriedly replied. A sweet taste. Although you only replied with a question mark. Anything you say sounds sweet to me. Are you cold because you're a bit tired? Su Zining stared at the messages that popped up on her screen, unable to sit still. She didn't understand Jiang Chen's mindset in sending such cheesy words to his superior. A simple became sweet to Jiang Chen? What happened to this young, talented, handsome employee? After thinking for a moment, Su Zining decided she would have a serious talk with Jiang Chen. She replied. I'm not tired. If you focus on your work, I'd be more at ease. Actually, your research and development talents are good. You don't have many flaws, just focus on your work, and you'll have a bright future. Stop with the nonsense. Especially these cringy lines that make my skin crawl. Jiang Chen froze completely. See? I wasn't wrong. Secretary Zhang definitely had a soft spot for Xiaolang. She actually said Xiaolang had good research talents. This was insane. Xiaolang could barely type 3 words in a row, and she called his skills good. Jiang Chen now firmly believed it. Secretary Zhang was totally blinded by love. This was going to be easy. Jiang Chen raised his hand, hit send, and let the cheesy lines flow. On the other side, Su Zining thought she had made her point clear. Jiang Chen would surely take a moment to reflect, right? He's young, so it's normal to be impulsive. As long as he admits his mistakes, everything will be fine. But then, her phone vibrated twice again. Jiang Chen's message came through. You must be tired today, because you've been running around in my heart all day. To be honest, I have a huge flaw. That flaw is I like you. Chapter 2, Confession. Jiang Chen is a professional. Can these words really be considered a linguistic art developed by humanity? Are you tired? Running through my heart all day long. Indeed, there is a flaw, the flaw is you. How did Jiang Chen even say this? Su Zining's expression remained cold, but deep down, she felt something unusual. She replied to Jiang Chen with a roll I gif. Huajian Ting community. Jiang Chen shook his head, still feeling dizzy and in pain. But for his brother Xiaolang, he still put in the effort to analyze. That roll I gif highlighted the art of language from Secretary Zhang. Did it really mean rolling eyes? Or was she just a bit shy? Jiang Chen sighed deeply, resolutely deciding on the latter. As a person who had been reborn, he admitted that cheesy pickup lines were indeed cringe-worthy. And they made things quite awkward. But the first person to hear those cheesy lines even on QQ would at least feel a little shy, heart-racing, right? Oh, cheesy pickup lines are great, just not overused. Otherwise, women will get tired of it. Maybe I should dig up some old memories to be more sentimental. Jiang Chen suddenly switched his mindset and sent a series of messages. Actually, I just liked you. But at last year's company party, when you appeared, the setting sun just happened to reflect on your profile. I was in awe, mesmerized, thinking how beautiful you were. I swear, even though there was a clear gap between us, I will make you mine. Your person, and your heart. This is the most sincere and passionate vow I have for my feelings. In that moment, my liking turned into love. Xiaolang, as an ordinary employee in the RD department, had a clear identity gap compared to Secretary Jiang, who was the president's private secretary. And the company annual event was something Jiang Chen was telling the truth about. At that time, Secretary Jiang should have appeared with the president, Su Zining. The setting sun just happened to shine through the floor-to-ceiling windows. However, Xiaolang was looking at Secretary Jiang, while Jiang Chen was looking at Su Zining. Though Jiang Chen felt that Su Zining's cold, frosty face screamed, "Do not disturb," her appearance was truly divine, simply out of this world. Back to the point. Jiang Chen refused to believe it. Secretary Jiang had feelings for Xiaolang from the beginning. This wave of sincere confession, could she resist? Come on, just agree. I'm about to pass out from tiredness. If Xiaolang doesn't accept the confession, isn't this just leading him on? The neatly typed Chinese characters formed words. With a passionate person's careful embellishments and genuine emotions, they became the most beautiful love words in the world. Su Zining was slightly stunned after reading them. Her thoughts drifted back to last year's company party. She and Secretary Jiang had finished sorting through some documents before heading to the dinner venue. When she pushed open the door, the setting sun just happened to cast a warm glow on her profile. At that moment, she also noticed Jiang Chen's gaze. His handsome face stood out among the crowd. At that time, she didn't feel anything particular, but now thinking about it, that gaze was truly gentle and pure. Had Jiang Chen already liked me back then? Su Zining shook her head in disbelief. She was a bit flustered, her heart racing, like a deer caught off guard. Su Zining didn't immediately reply. She went to wash her face first. After a long sigh, she muttered, "Jiang Chen's gaze, looking back now, was truly pure." After a moment of silence, she finally picked up her phone. This time, her hands trembled slightly as she typed. The fluttering heart of a girl in her youth, watching other couples around her in college. Su Zining wasn't without envy. She had always been surrounded by suitors, but she remained distant, like an iceberg. Besides, she was simply too outstanding. Top student in high school, four-time winner of the national scholarship in college. Guaranteed admission to graduate school, and the daughter of a wealthy family. Her status alone made 99% of men give up. She had received love letters, but never bothered reading them. She preferred meaningful conversations instead. Now, though, this wasn't a face-to-face confession, but it was still the first time Su Zining had encountered such a genuine confession through messages. Jiang Chen, as the first person, gently nudged a crack in her heart. "I remember what you said. We happened to lock eyes. Seems like it's been almost a year now, right? Your words really touched me. Thank you for your love. As a woman, I should accept your confession. But as a professional, I choose to reject you. I have work to do, I'm very busy. And you're still young, you also have things to pursue. Your youth should not be wasted. You deserve a better future. So, I'm sorry." Jiang Chen's eyes widened in shock as he read 5 consecutive messages. He sucked in a breath of cold air, utterly stunned. Wow, Secretary Jiang was this hard to win over? If he hadn't been reborn, he would have been totally fooled by her. But Jiang Chen remembered it too clearly. In his past life, Secretary Jiang and Xiaolang probably got together around this time. Jiang Chen, lost in thought, clicked his tongue. So, how should he proceed next? Cheesy pickup lines wouldn't work. Using them again would lose their charm. Making empty promises wouldn't feel real. Then, an idea suddenly struck Jiang Chen. What do women lack the most? Security. So, he would guarantee her that feeling. Secretary Jiang, being Su Zining's private secretary, dealt with numerous documents daily. And people get influenced by their surroundings. Since she was always with the icy president, Su Zining, Secretary Jiang had also become cold and serious. This, Jiang Chen thought, could be turned into a great angle. So he sent. Youth. Is it just about facing piles of paperwork? Not even having the right to choose love? Always with a serious face, cold and distant. That's not how you should be. At your age, you should be happily smiling. I know you lack security. I may not be good looking, but I'm reliable. I always make people feel safe. And I'm funny, I can make you happy. Jiang Chen smiled to himself. These words turned Xiaolang's flaws into advantages. Honestly, Xiaolang wasn't he funny, he was just silly. And he wasn't he giving security, he was just overweight. But right now, Jiang Chen had to betray his own feelings for his brother's happiness. Something still felt a bit off. Right. The desire to conquer. Everyone has that need, especially women like Secretary Jiang, who are more mature. Jiang Chen quickly thought of all the domineering CEO stories he had read. He impulsively added, "Women, I hope you don't take this the wrong way." Chapter 3, Jiang Chen, President Su is looking for you. After reading Jiang Chen's string of messages, Su Zining felt that she was close to breaking down. Jiang Chen actually called me woman. And told me not to be ungrateful. He is the most handsome guy I've ever seen, yet Jiang Chen thinks he looks average. So domineering, yet so humble. Her face flushed slightly, and her breathing became shallow. The little deer in her heart had already run countless marathons. Woman, don't be ungrateful. I can give you the security you lack. I don't think you should be so cold. You should be happy, with a smile on your face. A faint smile curved on Su Zining's lips as she muttered, such a gentle yet domineering confession. These words pierced through the tough exterior of Su Zining's heart, exposing her fragile side. Her strength was always for others to see. She was the domineering CEO of a $100 billion listed company, but at the core, she was just a little woman in her early 20s. Security, happiness, and smiles, she rarely experienced them. Every day, she faced a stack of tedious documents, endless meetings, and countless banquets she had to attend. When Jiang Chen pointed this out, a wave of emptiness and exhaustion overwhelmed her. Su Zining's phoenix eyes were empty as she stared at the phone screen. In that moment, she had no interest in the documents in front of her. Her delicate hand propped her chin, and she was stunning in her OL suit. But now, all she could think about was Jiang Chen on the other side of the screen. He must be a little nervous, right? He must be waiting for my response, right? At that moment, a crazy thought popped into Su Zining's mind. When she was about to reply, her whole body was trembling. After a while, she typed out one word, okay. But after thinking for a long time, Su Zining didn't send the message. Instead, she shook her head faintly and deleted the text in the conversation box. Phew, that was close. If I had replied directly to Jiang Chen, wouldn't that make me seem too easy? No, I can't agree so quickly. There's no way to agree to a confession through a screen. HMPH. Jiang Chen really has no sense of ceremony. After pondering for a while, Su Zining typed a line. Come to my office tomorrow morning. 5 minutes passed. 10 minutes. Half an hour. She still hadn't received a reply from Jiang Chen. Su Zining's mood was extremely uneasy. It felt like she had just gone through a world war. Does Jiang Chen think I've rejected him? Did I hurt his feelings? He made such an emotional confession. Why did I drag it to tomorrow? I had already decided to agree. I'm really being a bit difficult. Should I drop a hint? Su Zining lightly bit her red lips and posted something on her social media. In physics, there's a saying, when heat starts transferring, time cannot go back. Su Zining's face turned bright red. He should understand this, right? Tonight, some people are destined to be sleepless, while others have already entered dreamland. Yes, Jiang Chen. It's not that Jiang Chen is ignoring her messages. Rather, he had exhausted all his skills and couldn't deal with it anymore. And the thing is, this Secretary Jiang is replying too slowly. Jiang Chen just couldn't bear it. So, he fell asleep. The next day, at Lage Group. 7:59 a.m., Jiang Chen successfully clocked in. Brother Chen, just now CI asked me to tell you that President Su is looking for you. She said you should go to the President's office right away, it seems urgent. CI? Su Chen paused for a moment before remembering. Secretary Jiang's real name was Jiang CI, and since Little Wolf was calling her that, it seemed they were officially together. Good, I knew it. I used everything I had, and I still couldn't take down a Secretary Jiang. All right, I'll get ready and head over. Congratulations, bro, you've won the heart of your beloved woman. Little Wolf grinned, basking in sweet satisfaction. Last night, after calling Jiang Chen, he felt bad for disturbing him. Brother Chen had drunk so much he must have been in a terrible headache. Little Wolf couldn't bear to bother Jiang Chen again, and he felt like confessing was fine on his own merit. To ensure Jiang Chen had a good night's rest, he didn't send him any messages. And just like that, he won Zhang Xi with only 3 sentences. But Jiang Chen had no idea about this at the moment. He was on his way to Su Zining's office. At the door, he just happened to see Secretary Jiang. Jiang Chen, be careful, President Su has been acting a little off this morning. Jiang Chen froze. This Ice Queen is acting strange? Cold and distant. Wait, that's normal. What's wrong? Secretary Jiang frowned slightly and shook her head. How should I put it, it's like the state of mind I was in when Little Wolf confessed to me last night. A bit of a shy, feminine vibe. Jiang Chen nearly jumped out of his skin. Holy shit, that's not normal at all. Su Zining, this woman, can act all shy and feminine? Oh my god, which fellow practitioner pulled off such a feat with this Ice Queen? This is seriously bizarre. Got it, thanks. Jiang Chen nodded. Secretary Jiang helped him open the door, and Jiang Chen entered Su Zining's office. To be honest, this wasn't Jiang Chen's first time entering Su Zining's office. Every time, he would be in awe. One word, luxurious. The paintings on the walls, the porcelain on display, all priceless. The air was filled with a subtle fragrance, and Su Zining was sitting at her desk. President Su, you're looking for me so early, what's up? Jiang Chen thought that there might be a problem with the design proposal submitted yesterday afternoon. Su Zining looked up, meeting Jiang Chen's gaze. A faint blush appeared on her face. About last night, do you have anything to say? Jiang Chen was stunned. Last night. But the design proposal was submitted yesterday afternoon. Last night, there was drinking and helping Little Wolf confess. Nothing really connected to Su Zining. President Su, last night. Since this morning, Su Zining had been waiting for Jiang Chen. She barely slept, only 2 hours. She was worried that her expression might have caused Jiang Chen to think she was rejecting him. Looking at Jiang Chen's expression now only confirmed her thoughts. So now, should I explain to Jiang Chen? That would be so awkward after all, I'm his boss. After a moment of hesitation, Su Zining's neck flushed faintly. Her red lips parted. Jiang Chen, regarding your confession last night, my final reply is. It's not that I'm rejecting you, it's just that I think we should discuss this face to face. Jiang Chen's mind went blank. Su Zining said what? A confession. I confess to this Ice Queen? Is the world going crazy, or am I going crazy? His brain spun wildly, and Jiang Chen came to a conclusion. The world might be going crazy, or he might be going crazy, but this Ice Queen would never go crazy. So, Su Zining was being serious? Wait, did I really confess to her? What the hell is going on? Jiang Chen was in turmoil. Chapter 4 You Are My Sweetheart. At this moment, Su Zining spoke again. She was completely different from the past. An iceberg. No strangers allowed. You are shit, this is definitely a sentimental little woman, okay? The blush on the cheeks adds a unique flavor. Just last night, she had already been attacking me all night. Her eyes were fixed on Jiang Chen's handsome face, and she liked him more and more the more she looked at him. There are more and more little thoughts in my mind. With a frown and gritting her teeth, Su Zining's voice was as small as the buzzing of a mosquito. Jiang Chen, your sincerity really touched me. I think we can give it a try. After saying that, Su Zining quickly buried her head in the documents and never dared to look up at Jiang Chen again. That flustered movement was exactly like that of a young girl who had just fallen in love. And Jiang Chen was even more confused. His mind was now in a mess and he shook his head vigorously. Boss Su, let's not talk now. Let me take my time. 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. Su Zining didn't look up, but the corners of her mouth couldn't help but curl up slightly. Biting her lower lip, she nodded like a chicken pecking at rice, yeah. Jiang Chen took a long breath and quickly took out his cell phone. Open the penguin and you'll see. It was his conversation with Mr. Su. Instantly, cold sweat broke out on his back, and Jiang Chen clicked into the chat box with trembling fingers. Fuck. A beautiful blue star word burst out, and Jiang Chen was stunned. I actually followed the routine of helping Little Wolf to confess his feelings. Start with earthy love words and launch attacks in multiple aspects such as sense of security and desire for conquest. Step by step, Su Zining was conquered like this? Now you're actually showing signs of agreeing to me? My goodness, I am the fellow Taoist who performed exceptionally well. On the other hand, Su Zining. This was the first time in her 20 years of life that she didn't know how to express her feelings. I secretly glanced at Jiang Chen twice and I liked him more and more no matter how I looked at him. Su Zining also heard Jiang Chen's fuck. She didn't think there was anything wrong with the swear words that Jiang Chen blurted out. On the contrary, it feels a little cute. Hee hee, the fool Jiang Chen finally reacted. When he heard that I agreed to him, he was stunned and felt it was a little unreal. Humph, such an affectionate confession, I'm not a stone. What's so surprising? Jiang Chen. Have you recovered? Finally, Su Zining spoke first. Jiang Chen scratched his head and finally calmed down. Well, I got drunk on the first day of my rebirth, sent the love words to the wrong person, and was taken down by the cold female boss. Then what? A beautiful lady is a perfect match for a gentleman. It would be a lie for Jiang Chen to say that he was not moved. But it's not easy to face a cold face every day. Women are fickle, even though Su Zining is very shy now. Maybe, in 2 days. If I agree, I might have a hard time. If I don't agree, it's a bit unreasonable. Just as Jiang Chen was struggling, a mechanical voice rang in his ears. Ding, congratulations to the host for semi-awakening the lover bond system. Candidate for lover, Su Zining. Appearance, 95 points. Host, please make a choice. 1. Tell the truth, reject Su Zining, and find your next lover. Achieve the title, throwing away watermelons to pick up sesame seeds. 2nd, make the best of a bad situation and become a couple with Su Zining. Officially awaken the system and open all functions. Rewards, 5 million renminbi, 1000 bond points. Please refer to the system usage guidelines for details. System. Jiang Chen naturally knew what a system was. The golden finger of a reborn time traveler is the golden key to the pinnacle of life. Promise Su Zining to give you a reward. A gentleman loves money but gets it in a proper way. Am I, Jiang Chen, the kind of person who can be swayed by money? Of course not. With a slight cough, Jiang Chen met Su Zining's gaze. Boss Su, I can only say. Every word I said last night was carefully considered and came from my heart. I, Jiang Chen, am never a man who talks about love casually. You know, every day, I have a picture in my mind. Yes, poverty cannot change you, wealth cannot be suppressed. But as a human being, you can't throw away the watermelon to pick up sesame seeds. Besides, even if I, Jiang Chen, am not doing this for money, I have to agree. Just at that moment, Jiang Chen figured it out. I sent the wrong love message when I was drunk, why didn't I send it to someone else? But gave it to Su Zining. Fate. Rejecting the wife you worked so hard to seduce. Then he is fucking crazy. What picture? Jiang Chen, who had figured everything out, smiled slightly, stood up, and walked straight to Su Zining. Leaning forward slightly, the faint fragrance from Su Zining's body drifted into Jiang Chen's nose. For a long time, I have been fantasizing about what it would be like if I were really with you. What will my life be like? The image lingered in my mind for a long time. A leisurely afternoon, you, me, the blue sea, and the golden beach. And there's a little chirping baby. Seabirds fly by, freeze frame. We will grow old together. Su Zining, do you want to paint this picture with me? Su Zining's heart was beating fast. This. I have to say, Jiang Chen really nailed the confession. A woman's fall begins. That is, start imagining your future with your significant other. And now, Su Zining has been immersed in this quiet and beautiful picture. Isn't he this too beautiful? It seems that there is also the sound of Jiang Chen's heartbeat beside me. He is really romantic. If it was Jiang Chen, we can try. Now it's Jiang Chen, I want to be your girlfriend. Su Zining came back to her senses, turned her head slightly, and happened to meet Jiang Chen's eyes. Jiang Chen, yeah. Jiang Chen raised the corner of his mouth slightly. What does this mean? Agree? Or not? He deliberately wanted to tease Su Zining. Su Zining clenched her little pink fists and pouted slightly. Well, of course it means promise. God knows how much courage it took for Su Zining to say this. So, who am I to you? Jiang Chen still had no intention of letting Su Zining go. How can I say it? The aloof female CEO suddenly became my wife. She still looks like a shy little woman. No man can bear this feeling, right? Su Zining clenched her little pink fists tightly. Humph, is Jiang Chen asking this question even though he already knows the answer? Well, he is the president of Ledger Group after all. The corners of Su Zining's mouth slightly raised. It's the first day we've been dating each other, and yet she continues to be bullied by Jiang Chen like this? Su Zining gently stretched out her white arm and pointed to her chest. Since I've promised you. Then you are naturally my sweetheart. The system prompt sounded in my mind again. Ding, congratulations to their host for fully activating the couple bond system. Lover, Su Zining. Rewards have been issued. Jiang Chen didn't even listen to what the system was saying. He took a deep breath. Su Zining, is she so seductive? Damn, this wave. Not only did I not lose anything, I even made a huge profit. Chapter 5. Yes, Mr. Su's cousin. The Su Zining in front of him was like a wolf in sheep's clothing, flirtatious and shy. He glanced at Jiang Chen from time to time. After saying this, she was completely stunned, and she didn't know where to put her hands. At this time, someone knocked on the door. Boss Su, Boss Wang from Tianlei Group will be here in 10 minutes. Would you like to get ready? Zhang Xian's voice came. She was worried about Jiang Chen. After all, Jiang Chen is Xiaolang's brother. Mr. Su was acting very abnormal today, and Jiang Chen stayed in there for such a long time. I guess it's very tormenting, right? Okay, got it. Su Zining's cold voice came out. 5 minutes later, Jiang Chen walked out of the office door. Boss Su didn't make things difficult for you, did he? Zhang Xian couldn't help but stepped forward and asked. Jiang Chen was slightly stunned. Difficult? I don't know if it's too much of a stretch to insist on being my wife. It shouldn't count, right? It's okay. President Su is still reasonable. Jiang Chen answered in confusion, which confused Zhang Xian. Looking at Jiang Chen's departing back, she couldn't help scratching her head. Indeed, Jiang Chen's expression was not as ugly as she had imagined. How is that possible? After chatting with President Su for half an hour, even if I didn't cry, I would have a gloomy face, right? Zhang Xian didn't think much about it, but walked into Su Zining's office. Boss Su, I asked Boss Wang to wait for you in the conference room. Su Zining's expression was still icy cold. However, no matter how Zhang Xian looked at it, Su Zining's face was slightly red. I couldn't help but take a few more glances at him. Mr. Su looked much better than usual. Su Zining panicked. Why is Secretary Zhang looking at me? I won't still blush. No, this is too embarrassing. Xiao Zhang, take the documents and let's go discuss cooperation. Su Zining quickly changed the subject, stood up, and walked out. The moment he walked out of the door, he returned to his usual cold expression. Research and Development Department. Jiang Chen had just sat down at his desk when Wang Han and Song Ziyu came over after hearing the sound. Brother Chen, this is the porridge I made this morning. Have you had breakfast? Jiang Chen, Xiaolang said you drank alcohol last night. Do you still have a headache now? These two women are employees of the same department as Jiang Chen. How should I put it? They are obsessed with looks. Jiang Chen's face fits perfectly into their criteria for choosing a partner. So, if you want to win the heart of a handsome man, you have to be extra attentive. In fact, they look okay, but it's a bit of a stretch for them to match Jiang Chen. No, you guys go ahead, I have something else to do. Jiang Chen waved his hand to refuse, and the two women left in frustration. At this time, the little wolf came over with a smile. Brother Chen, what's going on? You don't want the porridge and tenderness that your good sister personally gave you. Could it be that the Sea King was so shocked by my capture of Secretary Zhang that he turned over a new leaf? Neptune? The guy who raises fish all day is called Neptune. What does that have to do with me, Jiang Chen, being handsome? Jiang Chen glared at the little wolf in annoyance. Damn, you even dared to mention confessing your love to Secretary Jiang. Damn it, if you don't need my help, you should at least say so. However, it was a blessing in disguise, and Jiang Chen did not scold the little wolf too much. Nothing, just a love affair. I don't want to take other women's things casually. The little wolf took a breath of cold air. Love? Holy shit. Doesn't anyone know where Jiang Chen went this morning? But how could he not know? Went to Mr. Su's office. And then you fell in love? The answer is obvious. The little wolf swallowed hard and looked at Jiang Chen. Brother Chen, damn, you've become rich. Tell me, which cousin did President Su introduce to you? Based on President Su's looks, her cousin shouldn't be much different. Boss Su's brother-in-law, Brother Chen, if you become rich and powerful, don't forget me. What a fucking cousin. Jiang Chen glanced at the little wolf indifferently. Why can't it be Su Zining? The little wolf widened his eyes and looked around quickly, making sure that no one heard what Jiang Chen said before he breathed a sigh of relief. Said in an excited tone. Brother Chen, please don't say such nonsense. Boss Su, we can't afford you. Jiang Chen shrugged and said with a smile. I am not worthy of her. The little wolf scratched his head and smiled awkwardly. Oh, Brother Chen, with your face, you are worthy of being a bodhisattva, let alone President Su. The main thing is, don't we know President Su yet? Has she ever smiled at a man? She has a stern face all day long. Everyone suspects that Miss Su doesn't like men. Have you forgotten the oath that Mr. Lee from your department swore? If anyone can hook up with President Su, he will live stream the sex with a 5-speed electric fan. Then all the money from the live broadcast gifts will be considered as gift money. He's a veteran employee of the company, he's not stupid, how can he say that if he's not sure? Jiang Chen raised his eyebrows fiercely. What the hell, is there such a thing? So, if I reveal my cards now, will Lao Li fulfill his promise immediately? Holy crap. Forget it, it's too tragic. I dare not even think about that scene. I'd better let Lao Mar go. Yes, Mr. Su's cousin. The little wolf breathed a sigh of relief. Well, that's right. Gave Jiang Chen a thumbs up. Jiang Chen gave the little wolf a helpless look. He turned around and started staring at the computer, slacking off. The RD department works on designing product plans, etc. Jiang Chen was a reborn person with a vision that was more than 10 years ahead of the times, so that thing was within his reach. Besides, if you don't slack off at work, is it really work? It was not until 11 o'clock that Jiang Chen casually wrote out a design plan. Even though it only took 20 minutes. But it is a perfect design plan that includes background stories and so on. This is several days' work for other employees. Jiang Chen held the teacup, ready to get off work on time at 12 o'clock. With 2 minutes left to 12 o'clock, Wang Hai, director of the RD department, walked into the office. This morning, President Su and President Wang of Tianlei Group finalized the preliminary plan for SK Magic Water. This perfume will be promoted through the dual channels of our Ledger Group and Tianlei Group. Because the time to market is quite urgent, everyone should hurry up and submit a design plan. If it is finalized, there will be a bonus of 100,000 yuan. As soon as Wang Hai said this, the entire RD department let out a wail. Half of the day has passed, and I still have to submit a design proposal before leaving get off work. This is fucking outrageous. But, a bonus of 100,000 yuan. Damn, this is a chance to get rich. What if I'm lucky enough to be selected? Phew, without further ado, everyone smiled at each other and decided to give up their lunch break. Many people opened Meituan, prepared to have a simple takeout and then quickly started designing plans. The meaning is very clear, no lunch break, work overtime. And this is exactly the effect Wang Hai wants. At 12 o'clock, Wang Hai nodded with satisfaction as he looked at the employees who were still working hard. This is what young people look like when they are actively striving for progress. Right, food can be eaten simply. You can even not eat and not starve to death. Dedication to work is the most important thing. They are really a good group of employees. Just as he was reveling in himself, Jiang Chen's figure flashed past Wang Hai quickly. But it's time, hurry home. I'm starving. Eat, eat. Chapter 6, Lucky Draw Graph Limited Edition Necklace. It's not that Jiang Chen was not in a hurry to write the plan, but that he just casually typed out the design plan. Just change the name and it can be transformed into the design of SK Magic Water. Today's task has been completed, why doesn't he take a lunch break? Not working, not overtime, what's wrong with taking a lunch break? But in Wenhai's opinion, this is not the case. Everyone else is working overtime, everyone else is working diligently to help him achieve sales goals. Jiang Chen wants to run away. Damn it, how dare he? Stop right there, Jiang Chen. You don't have any heart at all. Can't you see what other people are doing? How dare you go home for lunch? Jiang Chen turned his head and rolled his eyes at Wenhai. I'm too lazy to bother with you. Don't look for trouble. Jiang Chen knew better than anyone that what Wenhai did best was to make big promises. He gets something for nothing by making his employees work overtime for him, and then he hides away and counts the money. What's wrong with me taking a lunch break? I don't get overtime pay for working overtime. Without further ado, I'll sit down if you give me $10 for overtime, okay? Wenhai was full of black lines. This call for overtime was actually his own idea. Because he saw Su Zining seemed very happy today, he wanted to ask his employees to come up with a plan as soon as possible. Then go and take credit. Overtime pay? It's not overtime stipulated by the company, no. Paying out of his own pocket. He wouldn't even bother to kill Wenhai. He is the minister, so he doesn't have to work overtime. That is wishful thinking, he has the final say. This overtime will be counted towards the full attendance assessment. Go ahead, this month's full attendance bonus will be deducted. I won't approve your application by the end of the month. If you have the guts, go to President Su and report me. You know, the Leger Group's full attendance bonus is a full 2,000 yuan. It's a considerable amount of money, most people wouldn't be able to refuse it, right? Wenhai thought that Jiang Chen would definitely sit back at his desk obediently. I started to design a plan obediently, but there was nothing I could do. Who made Wenhai the minister and gave him this right? But things did not go as expected. Jiang Chen just raised his eyes and glanced at him indifferently. Two words came out from between his teeth. Sharby. Turn around and walk away. Go to overtime. If you're so awesome, then deduct my attendance score. Just look at whether Su Zining will fix it or not and you'll be done. That's my fucking wife. Ignoring you, you really take yourself too seriously. Jiang Chen's back disappeared in the RD office, leaving Wenhai with an embarrassed look on his face. What are you looking at? You want to deduct your attendance for not working hard. Wenhai felt the gazes coming from all directions and his face felt burning. He growled in a low voice. Jiang Chen has a perverted talent for design. He is a genius with personality. He can't be fooled. Then he can't scare these employees? Hey! Ingyin, I'll be right there. Just when he was intoxicated for the second time, Xiaolang walked past him while talking on the phone. Wenhai. Guardianting community. Jiang Chen burped. Comfortable, still the same taste. Jiang Chen prefers the beef noodles downstairs, which are large in quantity and cheap in price. System, start the lottery. Jiang Chen had to go home at noon and eat beef noodles downstairs. Another aspect is to study the system lottery. When the system was fully awakened, he obtained 1,000 bond points. The items that can be exchanged in the mall all start from a bond value of 10,000 points. And one draw only requires 1,000 bond points. Fuck me, give me a sweet. Give me a big villa. Jiang Chen thought silently in his heart. Ding, 1,000 bond points are consumed, and rewards are being drawn for the host. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained Graf Centennial Limited Edition Necklace X1. Necklace. Damn, it's a women's model. What's the use of this to me? Jiang Chen was confused and said, I don't have a girlfriend. Suddenly, Jiang Chen took a breath of cold air. No, how can I activate the system without a girlfriend? Yes, Su Zining. Damn it, the system is forcing me to give gifts. But it's true. I should buy something for Su Zining. Then this one. 1 o'clock, Tianhe Square. The system's reward distribution is very user-friendly, and can allow people from specialty stores to deliver goods to your door. But it just so happened that Graf's store was right in Tianhe Plaza, and Jiang Chen happened to pass by on his way to work. So he just came and got it himself, and could also deliver it to Su Zining in the afternoon. Tianhe Plaza, as the largest shopping mall in Jinghai City, is always bustling with people. Sorry, you're too young, right? Sorry, you're wearing too much makeup. Girl, you have such a strong body odor. All the way to the fourth floor of the square, Jiang Chen had no idea how many sisters he had rejected who came to ask for his contact information. I couldn't help but feel a little regretful. Damn, I was in such a hurry to go out that I forgot to bring a mask, and it failed to cover up such a handsome face. Graph, it should be here. Jiang Chen walked into the Graph store and was dazzled by the dazzling jewelry in front of him. He also knows about this brand. Graph, also known as Graph, is known as the country of unparalleled luxury. Hello, sir, do you have any previous orders? Jiang Chen. As sales clerks in high-end luxury jewelry stores, shopping guides are professionally trained. Don't judge a book by its cover. But the moment she saw Jiang Chen's appearance, she was still stunned. Isn't he so cool? Etc. Jiang Chen. This name seems a little familiar. Isn't the VIP who got the limited edition called Jiang Chen? Sir, you have reserved our Graph Centennial Limited Edition. It's our fault that you have to come and get it in person. Please wait a moment. I will mount it for you right away. The shopping guide took a deep breath. She didn't dare to face Jiang Chen's gaze, he was so handsome and rich. You know, the price of that century-old limited edition necklace is a staggering 2.88 million yuan. She panicked. Well, no rush. Jiang Chen said calmly that in fact he came a little too fast. He rubbed his temples and sat on the sofa in the rest area waiting. At this time, a middle-aged man sat in front of Jiang Chen. Brother Jiang, my name is Su Zining. There is something I want to discuss with my little brother. Jiang Chen looked at Su Zining, who was dressed in a suit and tie, and should be a businessman. Anyone who can appear in the Graph store must be rich or noble. What can you discuss with him? Mr. Jiang, the mounting process may take several minutes. Please have some tea first. Please help yourself, Mr. Su. The shopping guide brought 2 cups of tea. Jiang Chen smacked his lips. Mr. Su Zining. This name seems familiar, I think you've heard it before. I wonder what director Su wants. A trace of embarrassment flashed across Su Zhining's face, and he found it difficult to speak. I want to buy this Graph necklace from Mr. Jiang. I'll raise the price by 100,000. 3 million, can you please give me some help? Jiang Chen was stunned. He really didn't pay any attention to the value of this necklace. The price increase of 100,000 is 3 million, so the original selling price is 2.9 million. Holy shit, a necklace I just picked up is worth 3 million. Now you can also cash in directly. He smacked his lips. It was hard for Jiang Chen not to be moved. Chapter 7 Gift. Firmly chosen. But then I thought, what if I transfer the necklace to Su Zining? So what should he give to Su Zining? According to Su Zining's net worth, this limited edition Graph necklace is just right. 3 million. Even though she is an extra wife who appeared out of nowhere, she still has to be pampered. Jiang Chen's woman must be presentable. And if he sells it to Su Zining, Jiang Chen will have to spend a lot of time preparing a gift. He was too lazy to bother, so he wanted to refuse Su Zining. I'm sorry, Mr. Su, actually I brought this necklace for someone else. That guy was in a hurry to send his girlfriend off, there was nothing we could do. If this was mine, I would definitely sell it to you directly. My buddy has already paid for his girlfriend's money. It would be bad if he doesn't get it. Jiang Chen was cautious, as he was always careful. You can know a person's face but not his heart. It's obvious that Su Zining has some power, so he might as well investigate Jiang Chen with some evil intentions. How could he, as a small member of the Ledger Group, get a necklace worth 3 million? It would be strange if no clues were discovered. As the saying goes, you should not have the intention to harm others, but you must be on guard against others. So that's the case. Then I won't force it. A trace of loneliness flashed in Su Zhining's eyes, and he nodded. The main reason is that he has been feeling itchy recently since he saw his friends' children all finding boyfriends or girlfriends. My own daughter is like an ice cube, all she does all day is work. He planned to give his daughter a gift and then have a good chat with her about finding a boyfriend. This was his first time buying jewelry in person, but he ended up buying nothing? I'm sorry, Mr. Su. Jiang Chen smiled apologetically. Su Zining waved his hand to indicate that it was okay. Then he took out a business card from his pocket. Brother Jiang, take this. Next time you come to Qianhe Plaza, show me my business card and you can get a discount. Also, when you have time, invite your friends to get to know each other better. Su Qianhe thought that although he was not arrogant, he had the manners and manner of a businessman who had been doing business for many years. Most people didn't dare to get close, but Jiang Chen didn't show any fear at all. Confidence. What does confidence represent? Strength. What's more, this young man Jiang Chen has a friend who can spend 3 million yuan to buy a necklace. Worth making friends with. Jiang Chen was not restrained and took the business card directly. Just at this moment, the shopping guide brought over a framed necklace. Mr. Su, no problem. I'll leave first. Su Qianhe said, lightly. Walking out of Qianhe Plaza, Jiang Chen let out a long sigh. Damn, no wonder the name Su Qianhe sounds familiar. Qianhe Plaza, Su Qianhe, isn't he this the chairman of Qianhe Plaza? It really is worthy of being called a system. It actually snatched a limited edition necklace from someone else's home. After arriving at the Ledger Group, Jiang Chen returned to the department and punched in. Then head straight to the top floor. President's office. Boss Su, Jiang Chen seems to be here. What do you want to discuss? Do you need to prepare any documents? Zhang Xiang asked. Su Zining was shocked. Jiang Chen is here. When she heard the name, a blush flashed across her face. Jiang Chen's handsome face and his touching love words kept appearing in my mind. Whoosh whoosh. Su Zining, you have to stay calm. He's the boyfriend you chose yourself, how can you be so shy about him? Where is your usual coolness? Well, you can go out first. We don't need any documents. Don't need files. Su Zining's heart tightened. Did I say something wrong? Jiang Chen came here without any documents. Doesn't that prove that I don't want to discuss work with him? What are we talking about, love? Will Secretary Zhang discover anything? Su Zining's heart tightened and she quickly added. No, we need documents to discuss work. I'll find them myself in a moment. Go out and let Jiang Chen come in directly. Don't close the door, otherwise it will cause trouble later. Secretary Zhang is numb. What happened to Mr. Su? How could he say so many words at once? This shouldn't be the case. Su Zining has the most contact with Zhang Xiang on a daily basis, even if it's like this. A sentence only consists of a few words, and most of the time they are just a faint or okay. Why is it so abnormal today? However, as a qualified personal secretary, Zhang Xiang naturally knew not to ask questions that she shouldn't. I walked out the door obediently and saw Jiang Chen walking towards me. Quickly reminded. Jiang Chen, be careful. President Su is very unusual. Jiang Chen raised his eyebrows. Abnormal? Could it be that my wife knows that I'm here? Otherwise, what else could make Su Xianyu abnormal? Don't worry, it's okay. After simply replying to Secretary Zhang, Jiang Chen walked into the office. He moved closer to Su Zining, and the familiar and pleasant body fragrance penetrated his nose. Wife, I haven't seen you for half a day. I miss you so much. Jiang Chen said with a smile, staring at Su Zining's delicate profile. I smacked my lips. She is worthy of being my wife, her crescent-shaped eyebrows are really beautiful. Did you have enough for lunch? Su Zining raised her head and looked at Jiang Chen. For a moment, she was struck by his handsomeness again. His eyes were a little evasive, and he had more and more thoughts in his mind. Well, Jiang Chen's hair seems a little messy. Should I help him sort it out? Or maybe just forget it, isn't he this a bit too intimate? Oh, I'm his girlfriend. The chubby pink right hand clenched into a small fist, and Su Zining stretched out her left hand. He helped Jiang Chen fix his hair, then pulled his hand back in panic, like a frightened little rabbit. You're so good. You must eat enough. Honey, I'm telling you. The beef noodles downstairs from my house are really good. I'll take you there during the holidays. The boss is a genuine frontiersman, the food is amazing. Su Zining was stunned for a moment. In fact, she had never eaten beef noodles sold in a roadside shop. Does it taste the same as the hotel's specialty Beef King noodles? She didn't know, but as long as Jiang Chen was full, it was good. In fact, Su Zining wanted to tell Jiang Chen that she had no vacation. Her workload is so heavy that she needs to be in the office almost all the time. But she thought of what Jiang Chen said to her last night and didn't say it. Here, this is the gift I just bought for you. It seemed to suit you, so I bought it. Jiang Chen took out Graf's bag and put it on the desk. Su Zining was stunned. She just noticed the handbag Jiang Chen was holding. But she didn't think much about it, and it turned out to be a gift that Jiang Chen bought for her. Graf's necklace. The Ledger Group focuses on developing women's luxury goods, although its focus is on cosmetics and not jewelry. However, Su Zining still has some understanding of the Graf brand. A kingdom of unparalleled luxury. A hint of shock flashed in Su Zining's eyes when she got the necklace. She was completely stunned. This damn dazzling light, these sparkling diamonds. So beautiful. At the same time, an inexplicable feeling of being firmly chosen came over me. How much does Jiang Chen have to love her to be willing to spend money to buy this necklace? Jiang Chen, please help me put it on. Su Zining's voice was as small as a mosquito, and was completely drowned out by the sudden ringing of Jiang Chen's phone. So, Jiang Chen didn't hear what Su Zining said. Hey? Shit, is he sick again? What's going on? Unpaid overtime has become compulsory overtime, right? You still dare to cause trouble? I'll go over now. Chapter 8 Promotion. Su Xianyu is angry. Boss Su, I have something to do. I'll leave first. Jiang Chen said after hanging up the phone. Su Zining swallowed the words on her lips and nodded. Well, go ahead, don't delay. Jiang Chen left Su Zining's office without saying a word and walked out the door. A cold reminder sounded in my mind. Ding, it is detected that their host gave his lover Su Zining a Graf necklace. Congratulations on obtaining bond points, 1000, bond value plus 1. Trigger the hidden task and help your lover put on the necklace. Xiaolang called just now and said that when Hai saw that Jiang Chen was not at his workstation, he started looking for trouble and wanted to fire Jiang Chen. You know, giving the necklace is a reward of 1000 bond points. Putting it on Su Zining personally, it is estimated that the bond value is 1000. At this moment, Jiang Chen had already cursed Wen Hai to his ancestral grave in his hometown in his heart. Now go back to the office and put it on Su Xianyu. Forget it, let us go and fuck Wen Hai first. Anyway, Su Xianyu is there and can't run away. Jiang Chen sighed. He had to take out the plan he had come up with in the morning. Slap Wen Hai hard in the face. At this moment, Su Zining in the office had a cold face. She didn't show it in front of Jiang Chen, but now Jiang Chen was suddenly called away. Apparently, it's still about work. She was upset and super angry. Deep in her heart, she was looking forward to Jiang Chen putting the necklace on her personally. I didn't expect it to be destroyed by someone. Secretary Zhang, come in. A cold voice was heard, and a few seconds later, Zhang Xiyin pushed the door open and walked in. Go investigate the RD department. Is there any forced overtime? Half an hour. I want their whole story. Zhang Xiyin looked at Su Zining, her heart trembled, and she couldn't help but shudder. That's right, this aura, this attitude, this is the President Su I know. RD department. Mr. Su, I know about this. That is. Su Zining raised her eyebrows and glanced at Zhang Xiyin indifferently. Explain. Zhang Xiyin was stunned, but did not dare to delay and spoke quickly. Wang Hai forced the employees to work overtime at noon today. You are required to submit the design plan of the magical SK water before the end of get off work tonight. Jiang Chen and Lang Yuyao are not working overtime, and Minister Wen Hai is losing his temper now. Zhang Xiyin wanted to protect Jiang Chen and Lang Yuyao. Lang Yuyao is the little wolf. Because overtime work is very normal in a company of the size of Ledger Group. On the contrary, Jiang Chen and Xiaolang's attitudes were a bit problematic, and she was worried that Su Zining would find them. But now she can't hide it anymore. I couldn't help but wonder, how did Mr. Su know? If Su Zining didn't know that as the president's secretary, Wen Hai would give face to Xiaolang and Jiang Chen if they were nicer. Now, she can't hide it anymore. Lose the temper. Go to the RD department now and ask Wen Hai to come find me. Su Zining's eyes were extremely cold. This scared Zhang Xiyin. She didn't dare to think too much and just did as he said. Research and Development Department. Wen Hai, Brother Chen's plan is all here, do you have anything else to say? I see you're just looking for trouble. Do you regret it now? The little wolf stared at Wen Hai and said arrogantly. He is very confident. What the hell, you're just a minister. Yes, my girlfriend is the president's personal secretary. So what? My brother Chen is Mr. Su's cousin-in-law. Damn, are we still afraid of you? If Jiang Chen knew what Xiaolang was thinking at the moment, he would probably spit out a mouthful of blood. This plan has no bright spots at all. Write another one. You are not allowed to work overtime until you finish it. If I catch you being late or leaving early again, I will resign. Wen Hai said this domineeringly. He didn't even look at Jiang Chen's plan. How much better could the plan that Jiang Chen just perfected in 5 minutes be? Jiang Chen glared at Wen Hai fiercely. This boy, is he too confident? He just doesn't want to endure it anymore, fuck. If it weren't for you, Wen Hai, I would still be happily living with my wife. Just as he was about to open his mouth to retort to Wen Hai, he saw Secretary Zhang running in a panic. Minister Wang, President Su wants to see you. Wen Hai's eyes flashed with brilliance. Shit, Mr. Su is looking for me. I was just diligently watching the employees design the plan when General Manager Su came to me. This is to commend me for a promotion and salary increase. Okay, I'll be there right away. Wen Hai took the design plans that had already been written by other employees, and deliberately did not take Jiang Chen's. Before leaving, he gave Jiang Chen a fierce look. I'll deal with you when I come back. Jiang Chen shrugged helplessly. That's fine. Go ahead and deal with my wife first, and then come back and deal with me. Brother Chen, have you told your cousin about this? The little wolf asked embarrassedly. Jiang Chen was confused by this question. Cousin? Shit, could it be that Xiaolang thought that President Su introduced his cousin to me? This IQ. He opened the cabinet on the desk and took out a bag of walnut kernels. Here, eat some to replenish your body. This thing is good for your brain. At this time, Wen Hai was standing in the president's office and took a long breath. He is feeling both nervous and excited. Employees can be made to work overtime earnestly, but they don't even get overtime pay. This is Wen Hai's ability. Hiss, what position is President Su going to promote me to? Project Director? Deputy Department Manager? How much of a salary increase would that require? My scalp tingled and I knocked on the door. Boss Su, it's me, Xiao Hai. Enter. Wen Hai tiptoed into the office, and Su Zining just glanced at him indifferently. Wen Hai's throat rolled violently and his whole body was shaking. Boss Su, these are the 3 completed design plans. Please take a look. Su Zining then raised her head, her beautiful eyes fixed on Wen Hai. Oh? So soon? So fast? Oh shit, President Su is shocked. Wen Hai's body trembled. Isn't this the chance to take credit? Boss Su, didn't you and Boss Wang finalize the preliminary contract for SK Magic Water this morning? I immediately notified all department members, and everyone is working day and night on it. This is the quickest way to do it. I'll submit the rest of the plan to you before the end of get off work today. Take credit for it. You know, this dual-channel new product of SK is very important. That's great. This time, President Su finally discovered the light of me, Wen Hai. So it's overtime. Give me a reason why you force your employees to work overtime. Su Zining was too lazy to talk nonsense with Wen Hai and asked directly. Wen Hai chuckled. Boss Su, I remember you said that. Working overtime can hone employees' abilities, which is a good thing. Su Zining asked while playing with the water-based pen and raised her eyebrows. Are you sure I said that? At this moment Wen Hai was confused, he felt something was wrong. Su Zining's expression was too unusual, it didn't look like the expression of someone asking him to get a promotion and a raise. Instead, it seems like blaming him for forcing his employees to work overtime? Shit, that's not right. Don't capitalists like subordinates like me who force employees to work overtime? In fact, forced overtime is normal, and there are often departments within the company that require forced overtime. Even with forced overtime, the benefits of the Ledger Group are among the best. Therefore, Su Zining has always turned a blind eye to it. After all, it is good for the company. But he was forced to work overtime, so why bother finding fault with Jiang Chen? Jiang Chen was about to put the necklace on her personally, but was interrupted by Wen Hai. The more Su Zining thought about it, the angrier she became. I remember saying that as a senior executive, you shouldn't force your employees to work overtime for no reason. Give employees more time and space to develop and improve themselves. Doesn't Minister Wang remember? Chapter 9 Punishment. A member of the department informed on others. Have you ever said this? Wang Hai wanted to cry but had no tears, he could only promise it with his hand on his chest. What Mr. Su said before is definitely that overtime work is beneficial to improving employees' abilities. He would accept it if he was not allowed to spiral up to heaven, but Su Zining is the president, so if he said it or not, then it is not said. Wang Hai didn't even dare to fart. Yes, Mr. Su, of course I remember. Su Zining slapped the table with her palm, making a crisp sound. He glared at Wang Hai with cold eyes. Do you remember that you forced your employees to work overtime? You like working overtime so much. Write me a 3,000-word self-review, and your year-end bonus will be cancelled. Also, I hope to see Minister Wang working overtime every day these days. Lead by example, understand? Beads of sweat appeared on Wang Hai's forehead as he replied awkwardly. Understood, President Su. I will reflect on my mistakes when I return. Su Zining took a long breath and waved her hand. Oh, and there's also the matter of the design plan. I want quality, not quantity. In 5 days, I want the RD department to submit a plan of the highest quality. Go down. Wang Hai ran out of the president's office as if he had experienced a life and death situation. Breathing heavily. He wasn't even getting a promotion or raise, but he almost lost his position as minister. The scene just now reminded Wang Hai of what the ancient said. It's easy to find a pretext to accuse someone of a crime. What went wrong that made Mr. Su treat me like this? Wang Hai didn't understand. Research and Development Department. Jiang Chen was slacking off comfortably while others were still working on or improving the design plan. I'll tell you more about the design plan. As for time, we don't have to be so tight. It doesn't matter if we don't deliver today. What we want is quality. Starting today, I will work overtime in the company every day, and we will try to come up with the best solution together. After saying that, Wang Hai returned to his office in dejection. The employees in the RD department were all stunned. Fuck, has Wang Hai changed his personality? Good fellow, that's right, where does the quality come from in one day? He finally got it. It's not easy. The corner of Jiang Chen's mouth curved slightly. He must have been beaten up by Su Xianyo, right? Thinking of how Wang Hai's face had turned black just now, Jiang Chen said a word loudly. Should. As for what kind of punishment Wang Hai received, Jiang Chen was not interested in knowing. He believed that Su Zining knew what she was doing. Pick up your phone and open Penguin. Jiang Chen, wait for me in the office after get off work, I have something to do. Su Zining's message was replied within seconds. Maybe Su Zining had given Jiang Chen a reason to show special concern? Su Zining, yeah, I know. Jiang Chen put down his phone and chuckled. I plan to help Su Xianyo put on the necklace after get off work. TSK, another 1,000 bond value. Then he can go home and draw the prize twice. How can we not give him a villa? The office of the head of the RD department was pushed open. Xiao Yuan, what's the matter? Wang Hai asked calmly when he saw the person coming. Minister Wang, I want to talk to you about something personal today. Wang Hai was shocked. Shit, is this guy trying to give me a gift? If this were normal times, Wang Hai would be more than happy to have this. But now, Wang Hai was afraid that Su Zining was secretly staring at him. Well, it's working time, let's talk about work. Xiao Yuan was not shy and sat down on the chair opposite Wang Hai. Minister Wang, if I'm not mistaken, you went to the office and were scolded by General Manager Su, right? With a bang, Wang Hai slapped the table. Xiao Yuan, I'm telling you, don't talk nonsense. What can I do that deserves to be scolded by President Su? I, Wang Hai, do things in an upright manner and devote myself to the company. Be careful or I will deduct your attendance bonus. Xiao Yuan smiled flatteringly. Minister Wang, of course I know that you are upright and dedicated to the company. But the fact is, you were told off, right? In fact, you are also very puzzled and don't know what the reason is. What a coincidence, I know. Wang Hai's body trembled and he put down the document in his hand. He stood up with a smile, took out a cigarette from the table and handed it to Xiao Yuan. Have one, Xiao Xiao. Actually, I knew you were capable from the first day you joined the company. There is a high chance that he will take over my position as minister. Xiao Yuan waved his hand to indicate that he didn't smoke. He turned around and poured tea for himself and Wan Hai. Minister Wang, I'll just tell you directly. Jiang Chen has a relationship with President Su. Wan Hai narrowed his eyes slightly. Jiang Chen and President Su. What do you mean? Xiao Yuan sighed, his face full of helplessness. I'm also very puzzled by this matter. If I hadn't heard it from Jiang Chen and Lang Yuya myself, I wouldn't have believed it. Do you remember that President Su asked Jiang Chen to go to the office this morning? Actually, it was President Su who introduced his cousin to Jiang Chen. Xiaolang and Jiang Chen talked about President Su, and they were all talking about your cousin. Besides, Jiang Chen is now openly slacking off. He must have someone to rely on. The identity of Mr. Su's cousin-in-law is incredible. Wan Hai was shocked. Oh shit, is this really happening? Xiao Yuan's office seat was indeed close to Jiang Chen, so he could hear their whispers. Plus the tragic experience I just had. This made him believe what Xiao Yuan said. No wonder Mr. Su was so abnormal today, so this is what was going on. Damn it, she said bad things about her cousin's husband in front of President Su. Isn't this like using a flood to flush the Dragon King temple? Xiao Xiao, you are really my caring and good subordinate. After figuring out the reason, Wan Hai smiled heartily and patted Xiao Yuan on the shoulder. If Jiang Chen heard the conversation between these two people, I will definitely take out 2 more bags of walnuts. Give them each a pack to nourish their brains. 6 o'clock, the time for the ledger group to get off work. Jiang Chen stood up and stretched. You have to earn bond points quickly. Oh, what's the point of earning bond points? You should go and put a necklace on your wife. On the 27th floor, Jiang Chen walked out of the elevator and saw Wan Hai, who had just come out of the president's office. Hey, Minister Wang, I heard you'll be working overtime. It's really hard. Jiang Chen raised the corner of his mouth slightly. Damn, Xiao Wan Hai, I caught you. I'm going to smother you to death. Chapter 10 Check-in. Everyday hugs. When Wan Hai heard the familiar tone, he looked up. Oh my god, isn't he this Jiang Chen? On Jiang Chen's face, Wan Hai saw 6 bright words. Su Zining's cousin-in-law. Hey, Mr. Jiang, what are you talking about? This is called leading by example for the company, hee hee. Wan Hai had a fawning smile on his face, revealing his fence-sitter character. This really confused Jiang Chen. He thought that even if Wan Hai didn't scold him, he would still have a gloomy face. What's going on with that flattering smile on his face now? Logically speaking, when Su Xianyu is dealing with Wan Hai, she can't just tell him that I'm in love with her, right? Don't I know how shy Su Xianyu is? Then what the hell is going on with Wan Hai? How about giving them some walnuts to nourish the brain? Forget it, it's quite expensive. It's a waste to feed the dog. Well, good luck, Minister Wang. Jiang Chen couldn't figure out what was wrong with Wan Hai, so he simply ignored him. Turned around and walked into Su Zining's office. Wan Hai was shocked. As expected of Mr. Su's cousin-in-law, he doesn't even need to knock when entering the office. Jiang Chen was not restrained either. This was the 3rd time he came that day. He walked straight up to Su Zining and smiled. Wife, where's the necklace? Jiang Chen was in a hurry, waiting to put it on Su Zining himself and then go home to draw the lottery. Su Zining was stunned, opened the cabinet, and took out the limited edition graph necklace. Here. Jiang Chen raised the corner of his mouth slightly, took the necklace and unpacked it. I wanted to put it on you myself at noon, but unfortunately they interrupted us. Just right, let's make up for this regret now. Jiang Chen's gaze was so pure that Su Zining panicked for a moment. So? Jiang Chen said he had something to talk to me about, so he came here specifically to put the necklace on me. At noon, Su Zining specially put the necklace back together for this reason. Find an opportunity to let Jiang Chen put it on her personally. At this time, Jiang Chen actually took the initiative to bring up this matter and remembered such a small detail. How could Su Zining not be happy? She bit her lips lightly with her teeth and said, obediently. Come on, turn around. This broken necklace is quite complicated. Jiang Chen muttered something and put his hands on Su Zining's shoulders. Su Zining's whole body trembled. This was the first time a man touched her shoulder. It's a little awkward, but more of a different feeling. The feeling of a racing heartbeat. Well, this necklace seems to be tailor-made for you, my wife. Slurp. Jiang Chen raised his eyebrows and smiled. He had to say it. Su Zining's fair neck is embellished with this dazzling necklace, making her look more high-end and elegant. Sharks can probably raise 2 clavicles, right? Well, thank you. Su Zining actually wanted to say thank you, boyfriend. However, it feels a bit awkward. What about saying thank you, husband? Just thinking about it makes my face turn red and my heart beat fast. I struggled madly in my heart, and finally it became thank you. After glancing at Jiang Chen's profile, the little woman in her body jumped out again. Snort. This guy. How can you call me wife so smoothly? So shy. Okay, I'll leave then. See you tomorrow, wife. Jiang Chen planned to run away without saying anything. Now he had only one thought in his mind, 2 words. Lottery. Su Zining was confused. Jiang Chen was leaving. Hey. How can you leave? I just gave my girlfriend a necklace as a present and she even put it on herself. Just leave. This is not how it's played out in Korean dramas. Jiang Chen, is there something that makes you anxious to go home? Su Zining asked with a slight blush on her face. Jiang Chen was about to go out when Su Zining stopped him. Well, honey, you're right. Damn it, of course there is something wrong. Isn't a lottery a problem? Jiang Chen looked back and happened to see Su Zining with a shy face. The posture was like a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. If a man is not distracted, isn't he? Especially, the usually high and mighty Su Zining. Jiang Chen asked himself. Is there anything wrong? Yes, but it seems, not a big deal. The bond value doesn't he have legs and can't run? Honey, what's up? Jiang Chen raised his eyebrows and asked, taking a breath. Su Zining's expression is so fucking miserable, isn't it? I can't bear it. Su Xianyo, do you want your brother to do something to you? Well, it's just a small matter. It won't take up much of your time. Su Zining said this and stood up. Her height of 170 centimeters and high heels make her a perfect match for Jiang Chen. She slowly opened her arms and hugged Jiang Chen. Millimeter. This hug. Just consider it a small return gift. In fact, Su Zining had just been thinking about it for a long time. No kissing, after all, she and Jiang Chen have only known each other for 1 day. Not to mention being pornographic. Then, all that is left is a hug. Feeling the faint body fragrance of Jiang Chen, Su Zining felt a rare sense of security in her heart. After a few seconds, she withdrew her hand. Okay, you can go home now. My little boyfriend. Jiang Chen scratched his head and took a long breath. Roaring in my heart. Damn, my virginity is gone. This is so fucking outrageous. At least say something, aren't you raping a woman? Su Zining, you are an icy female CEO worth tens of billions. Is this appropriate in broad daylight? Wife, what are you holding back for so long? So you want to take advantage of me? Su Zining was shocked. Bar. I took advantage of you. At most, it's called taking advantage of each other. Su Zining's voice became lower and lower. Snort. Wouldn't you feel uncomfortable if I hugged you? Okay, I'm leaving now. Jiang Chen thought about it and realized that he had been hugged for too short a time and hadn't he reacted. But, that feeling is really unpleasant. Well, tell me when you get home. Jiang Chen walked out of the office still sighing. On the first day of love, the cold female boss Su Xianyo took the initiative to give herself a hug. It's all because of my brother's charm. Ding, complete the side quest, put the necklace on your lover personally. Bond value plus 1000. Successfully clocked in for an evening hug. Bond value plus 1000. Jiang Chen frowned slightly. What the hell is this check-in for an evening hug? Has the system developed new features? Shit, I'll go home and study it. Yangluo Lake is one of the most famous villa areas in Jinghai City. The quiet environment, the sparkling lake and the rows of green trees. Su Zining pushed open the door of villa number 4. Today she had no mind to deal with documents, all she could think about was Jiang Chen's gentle embrace. Oh, I thought there was a thief in the house. It turns out that my princess is back. What a rare guest. You finally put down your work and go home to visit your parents. A middle-aged man trotted into the first-floor lobby and said with a laugh. If Jiang Chen was present, he would definitely recognize this man on the spot. Su Zining. Well, I don't have anything to do today. I just finished discussing cooperation with Tianlei Group. Just come back early. Su Zining's cold tone met Su Zhining's enthusiastic face. That's good. Dad brought you a small gift today. Come and have a look. Su Zining has also gotten used to it. His daughter is just so cold and doesn't know how to express her emotions. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so anxious about Su Zining's lifelong affairs. Su Zining was stunned and followed Su Zining to the study. Hey, Ningning, open it and take a look. Su Zining took the small box handed over by Su Zining. Open it and take a look. Good guy. Another graph necklace? What happened today? Why did Dad and Jiang Chen both buy graph necklaces? Chapter 11, Friend. Boyfriend, okay? Ningning, Daddy also suddenly realized that your neck is empty. There are no accessories, it doesn't look good. Hey? Where did you get this necklace? Su Zining was stunned for a moment because he saw the shining necklace on Su Zining's neck. Isn't he this nonsense? Because Jiang Chen did not agree to sell the limited edition necklace, Su Zining bought the most expensive one in the store at that time. I want to give it to my own girl, and then have a good chat with her to help Su Zining find a boyfriend. As a result, Su Zining was actually wearing a necklace? It wasn't there when I went out this morning. It was given to me by a friend, and it's also from Graf. Su Zining replied indifferently. Boyfriends are also considered friends, right? No problem. Mainly, Su Zining was worried about Jiang Chen if she told Su Zining that she was in love. And the company's employees? She was afraid that her father would not be able to accept it and would investigate Jiang Chen. It would be bad if Jiang Chen felt uncomfortable. Oh? It looks better than the one I bought. Su Zining turned around and stared at the necklace his daughter was wearing. It looks so familiar no matter how I look at it. This quality, this diamond, this shape. Why does it look so much like the limited edition one that Jiang Chen took away? No, that's a bit of an understatement. They are exactly the same. Okay, wash your hands and get ready for dinner. Take this one too, and wear them alternately. Su Zining shook her head. I just want to wear this one now, you can give it to Mom. After saying that, she turned and walked out of the study. Su Zining took a deep breath, took out his cell phone and quickly browsed Penguin. Graf's staff had previously sent him a photo of the limited edition. After finding the photos, Su Zining began to compare them carefully. I slapped my thigh angrily, absolutely right, exactly the same. So, my daughter is in love. With Jiang Chen's brother. Su Zining immediately understood the cause and effect of the matter. Jiang Chen helped his brother to wear a limited edition necklace from Graf, saying that it was a gift from his brother to his girlfriend. Now, my daughter is wearing this limited edition necklace. There are only 10 pairs of this style in the world. How many of them are available in China? There can't be a second one in Jinghai City, right? Well, the answer is obvious. Fuck, it's great, my daughter is really in love. Su Zining swallowed hard, ran out of the study and went to the kitchen. Wife, come here, I have something important to tell you. Li Mai glanced at Su Zining with resentment. Alas, there are not so many big things happening day by day. But he followed her obediently, and they sat on the sofa. I'll call Ningning over and ask her to give you some advice. Su Zining was startled and quickly grabbed Li Mai's arm. He glanced at Su Zining's room from a distance with the door tightly closed, and breathed a sigh of relief. It's not a business thing. Besides, we can't talk about this in front of Ningning. Li Mai was confused and glared at Su Zining. Then tell me what's going on. This woman is already 40 years old, and I'm already indifferent. Nothing can make me feel drastically different. Su Zining swallowed. Ningning seems to be in love. Li Maiting stood up suddenly, his face full of disbelief. He grabbed Su Zining's arm tightly, his tone anxious. Tell me quickly, what's going on? So, Su Zining repeated what happened today when he met Jiang Chen and the necklace. Li Mai shook her head. Lao Su, let me tell you, I would rather believe that Jinghai City can have a second limited edition necklace. I don't believe there is a man who can control our Ningning. This matter is not particularly reliable. Su Zining thought about it and it was true. With Ningning's personality, How could she suddenly fall in love? But this is just too much of a coincidence. How about I try to find out from the side while we eat? Li Mai said embarrassedly. Upon hearing this, Su Jining raised his thumb. Become? It took Jiang Chen half an hour to reach Warjianting community. Finally I figured out what that check-in hug thing was all about. Bond points are used for lotteries and exchange of goods. Bond points are used to unlock more functions. For example, when the system awakened, the bond points between Jiang Chen and Su Zining were only 59 points. Since you get 1 point for giving the necklace, it is now 60 points. So all the functions of the 60 bond points were unlocked. Their hug check-in function allows you to hug your partner 3 times in the morning, afternoon and evening to receive bond value rewards. The rewards increase as the bond points increase. At the same time, there are morning and night check-in functions, as well as daily care check-in functions. Fuck, isn't this forcing me to have a good relationship? Jiang Chen let out a long breath. Suddenly I remembered that there are still 2,000 bond points. Lottery. Ding, the lottery is being drawn for the host. Congratulations to the host for winning, RMB reward of 100,000. Congratulations to the host for obtaining top piano master skills. Jiang Chen's face darkened. What's the use of this broken piano master? At the very least, I'm just a designer and you could at least give me a top design master. Piano master, this skill is too useless. He took out his cell phone, opened Penguin, and found Su Zining. Jiang Chen, have you eaten? The next second, the system prompted. Ding, the host checked in for evening care, bond value plus 500. Jiang Chen chuckled and said in one sentence, that's 500 points. 3 times a day, morning, noon and evening is 1,500 points. Add in hugs, good morning, noon and night, that's 4,500 points. Just complete another task and you can get 10,000 points in 2 days. If you can't win the lottery, it would be nice to move to a new villa. The geese fell into the lake. Su Jining sat at the dining table, trying desperately to wink at Li Mai. Come on, wife, and ask. I'm eagerly awaiting the result. Li Mai rolled her eyes fiercely. We just had dinner, why are you in such a hurry? You can't eat hot tofu in a hurry. Ning Ning, have a chicken drumstick. It's crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. Li Mai said gently. Su Zining nodded lightly, and suddenly, Su Zining's cell phone vibrated. There was a peculiar sound. Su Jining and Li Mai looked at each other. Is there something going on? Su Zining put down her chopsticks and picked up her cell phone. This voice was the special care reminder tone she set for Jiang Chen. So she knew that it was Jiang Chen who sent the message. After seeing the message, the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. I couldn't help but feel sweet in my heart, this sudden care from others. It's really intoxicating. Suddenly she thought of the scene of hugging Jiang Chen today, and that firm arm. Her pretty face turned red. He quickly replied to the message, then looked up quietly. He was faced with 2 pairs of eager eyes from Su Jining and Li Mai. Su Zining? Explain it quickly. A friend asked me something, it's nothing serious. I'll deal with it tomorrow at work, so go ahead and eat. After saying that, Su Zining put the phone on the table. Pretending nothing had happened, he picked up a chicken leg with chopsticks. Millimeter, Mom, this chicken leg is really good. Su Jining raised his eyebrows, and he and Li Mai were both shocked. Did my daughter just smile? And then, you blushed? This was the first time Su Zining replied to someone's message while eating. The most important thing is that Su Zining actually explained it to them. Su Jining asked himself, his daughter Su Zining has always been self-reliant. When have you ever explained to others what you did? Even he and Li Mai had never explained it. All these abnormalities can only prove one thing. Su Jining and Li Mai looked at each other and saw the relief in each other's eyes. Our girl is looking for a boyfriend. Chapter 12 Dowry. I can even call him brother. Warjianting community. Jiang Chen glanced at the message Su Zining replied, and a smile appeared on his lips. I'm eating now. My parents are here. They'll talk to you later. Mom and Dad. Speaking of Su Zining's father, Jiang Chen always felt that he had a big heart. How to say it? The Ledger Group was founded by Su Zining's father and then run by her. Reaching the current scale is directly related to Su Zining's extraordinary business talent. But it is also related to the huge investment made by her father. The most outrageous thing is that this is the original chairman of the Ledger Group. He never showed up at the company once. Even because all the shares were transferred to Su Zining. No one even knows what Su Zining's father's name is. Such a mysterious father-in-law is still a bit of a headache. Jiang Chen let out a long breath. Then I thought about my mother and realized that she had changed. It is also a headache for Su Xianyu to have such a mother-in-law. Jiang Chen, I'm going to play some games. By the way, this is the design I made. Wang Hai didn't submit it to me today. Take a look when you have time. He then sent the plan he had casually typed out that morning to Su Zining. Jiang Chen opened the game Luolu. Enjoy 2 rounds first. Yang Luo Lake Villa area. After dinner, Su Zining went straight into the bedroom and saw the reply message from Jiang Chen. I glanced at the penguin's online status, in the game. I'll wait until he's done. After all, boys don't like to be disturbed when they are playing games. So, Su Zining opened the design plan sent by Jiang Chen. The product theme name of just 6 words made Su Zining's heart tremble. Encounter that love. The other side. Su Qinher and Li Mai were in the room. Smirking at each other. The two of them looked at each other, feeling an indescribable sense of relief. Lao Su, Ningning, this is too obvious. I just don't know what the man is like. We have to check it out. Su Qinher touched his stubble and sighed. I think that the one who can afford to give a necklace worth 3 million must be a rich kid. Wife, as the ancient said, those who are close to vermilion will be red, and those who are close to ink will be black. That Jiang Chen is the boy who went to help get the necklace. I feel pretty good. His conversation and demeanor are all good, if you look at it that way. As Jiang Chen's brother, Ning Ning's boyfriend should not be too bad. Li Mai nodded, that was indeed the truth. But she always felt that something was wrong, that is. An indescribable feeling. Lao Su, why don't you go to Ledger tomorrow? Maybe it's one of Ning Ning's partners. Although we don't care about the man's family conditions, I still feel we need to find out more. Su Qinher curled his lips, stood up and glared at Li Mai. A woman's opinion. Girls from other families do need their parents to screen them when they are looking for a partner. Does my girl Su Zining need it? Wife, trust me, no need to check. I don't ask for any conditions from boys. My family has cars, houses and money. I just hope it's a man who can give me a grandson. Su Qinher was so envious that he almost cried. Today I heard that boss Zhang was holding his granddaughter, and tomorrow I heard that boss Li had a grandson. As for him, he was even worried about whether Su Zining would be liked by others. Our Ningning doesn't hate getting married, isn't your request too low? Li Mai frowned. Su Qinher snorted and sighed. Alas, our Ningning is indeed pretty, but which man wants to face an ice cube every day? Not to mention Ningning's stubborn and strong character, the main thing is that life is difficult. I've already thought about it. Someone wants our Ningning. I'll even give him a betrothal gift. Speaking of this, Su Qinher felt that something was missing. He added another sentence for the first time. I can call him brother. Li Mai's face was full of black lines. At 10 o'clock, Jiang Chen turned off their computer and lay down on the bed. Jiang Chen, wife, I'm okay. Su Zining asked Jiang Chen to tell her after he finished playing the game. Coincidentally, Jiang Chen had already done the good night check-in. The next second, Jiang Chen was dumbfounded. Su Zining's message was replied immediately, but that's not the point. That long paragraph was obviously edited long ago. As for the content, I've read this design plan. First of all. Secondly, in terms of concept and main background story. It's really great, Jiang Chen. You must have put a lot of thought into this plan, right? Jiang Chen almost spat out a mouthful of blood onto the ceiling. Oh my god, who the hell is talking about work in the middle of the night? There is absolutely no problem with the plan, Jiang Chen knows it better than anyone else. Do you really think that his vision, which is 10 years ahead of others after his rebirth, is all in vain? Honey, let's not talk about work so late at night. Let's talk about something else. Su Zining, anything else? Yes, talk about love and make love, no, talk about love. Su Zining, How do we talk? Jiang Chen smiled slightly and quickly typed out a line of words. Why do you suddenly want to hug me today? When Su Zining saw the message sent by Jiang Chen, a blush flashed across her face. Humph! This idiot! Didn't you say the answer yourself? What other reason is there to hug? That must be a hug. With a sly smile, he replied playfully. I won't tell you. Jiang Chen chuckled, he was waiting for this sentence. Okay, just don't tell me. It's getting late. You slept too late last night. Your boyfriend is going to bed. Good night, wife. I'm so fucking sleepy. Check-in completed. In fact, it's not that Jiang Chen doesn't want to chat with Su Zining. I was physically tired from drinking last night and mentally exhausted from confessing my feelings. I haven't had any rest the whole day and I'm really sleepy now. There is another reason, that is, Jiang Chen found that teasing Su Xianyu through the screen was far less fun than teasing Su Xianyu in person. And at this moment, on the other side of the screen, Su Zining's face flushed and she was going crazy. Just don't tell me. Jiang Chen. You. Too much. Chapter 13 Wife. You hold the pen upside down. Su Zining pouted and clenched her little pink fist to hit the teddy bear. She looked like a little girl who was throwing a tantrum because she didn't get her favorite toy. Didn't we agree to be in love? Why are you running away? Humph, stinky Jiang Chen, I don't want to play with you anymore. The next day, early morning. Su Zining opened her sleepy eyes hazily and found that Jiang Chen's message had been sent. Jiang Chen, good morning, my wife. A blush appeared on her face as she replied. Good morning. Suddenly, the girlish temper she had last night disappeared, and her heart was filled with happiness that Jiang Chen would look for her as soon as he woke up. Wash, put on makeup, eat, and change clothes. The moment Su Zining closed the door, Su Qianhe and Li Mai came stealthily from upstairs. See. Ningning spent half an hour putting on makeup this morning. Lao Su, guess what color lipstick Ningning is wearing? This question stumped Su Qianhe. Lipstick, what color? Just what color it is, I scratched my head. Red. Li Mai sneered and rolled her eyes at Su Qianhe. You made the right choice to let Ningning manage the Ledger Group. Your emotional intelligence was low when we got married, and it's even lower now. Let me give you some basic information. That color is called the color that kills men. It was your daughter's least favorite color. She thought it was too bright red. As the name suggests, the lipstick color that is absolutely attractive to boys. Su Tiancheng is not a fool, but he is shocked like a fool now. Why does Ningning choose such a fancy lipstick color? Kill a man? A crazy idea crept into his mind. In this relationship up to now, could it be that Ningning was the one who took the initiative? Shit, is there a man in this world who can make Ningning put on a lipstick color she does like? Oh my god, who on earth is Jiang Chen's brother? Ledger Group. As soon as Su Zining arrived at the office, Jiang Chen pushed the door open and walked in. Hey, good morning, wife. TSK, this hug is worth 500 bond points. Jiang Chen doesn't want to let it go. After arriving at the company, he went straight to Su Zining's office. Today Jiang Chen changed into a beige top and paired it with a pair of wide-leg jeans. Plus his enchanting looks, wow. Su Zining couldn't take her eyes away. Jiang Chen is really suitable for this clean and refreshing outfit. So handsome. Good morning. Su Zining replied. Where's my name? Good morning, wife. What should you reply to me? Of course my husband is early. It doesn't even require thinking, who doesn't know? But, asking Su Zining to call her husband now? I'm afraid she really has to punch a hole in the floor and crawl in. Even now, as Jiang Chen was staring at her, she felt a tingling sensation all over her body. Her heartbeat accelerated and her red lips slightly opened. Good morning, my boyfriend. As Jiang Chen expected, Su Zining's face turned red as soon as she finished speaking. Jiang Chen secretly gave himself a thumbs up in his heart. It was as expected. What did you say last night? It's much more fun to tease Su Xianyu in person than through the screen. Can you see this charming and shy scene through the screen? Of course not. But I can do it in person and I can keep watching it. Okay, that's progress. Su Zining was delighted. Jiang Chen is praising me. When she raised her head again, Jiang Chen had already walked in front of her. Stand up. Su Zining was stunned. Huh? Why are you standing up? Although he was confused, he still stood up obediently. Put your hands up. Su Zining raised his hand. Hold me. Jiang Chen said in a low voice, and this gentle yet somewhat overbearing tone made the deer in Su Zining's heart do 3,000-meter long-distance runs in the morning. He hugged Jiang Chen gently. She still let go of his hand after a few seconds, but this time, Su Zining put her head close to Jiang Chen's ear. Good morning, my little boyfriend Tilder. Then, he sat down at the desk like a frightened bird and quickly grabbed the pen. Pretend to be processing documents. Jiang Chen waved his hand and took a breath of the air, which smelled sweet. Okay, honey, I'm going to work first. With the beauty in his arms and feeling shocked, Jiang Chen felt that today had started off very well. Next, it's time to start slacking off at work. Aha! Su Zining nodded like a chick pecking at rice. For a long time, she didn't hear the sound of the door closing and was a little confused. She looked up quietly and happened to meet Jiang Chen's smiling eyes. She couldn't help but blush. Jiang Chen found this scene very cute and smiled. Wife, I don't mean anything else. Just wanted to remind you that you're holding your pen the wrong way around. After saying that, Jiang Chen pushed the door and left Su Zining's office. Su Zining let out a long sigh. What? She was so anxious just now that when she sat down to pretend, she didn't even realize that she was holding the pen upside down. Well, wouldn't that be embarrassing in front of Jiang Chen? It's all his fault. Su Zining felt mixed emotions and clenched her fists. When I adjusted my mood and prepared to work and straightened my back, a ray of sunlight shone into the office. When the light shines on Su Zining's profile, her eyes and brows are full of smiles. Research and Development Department. Brother Chen, do you still have those walnuts? You know what, it's quite delicious. Chen Fan was in the middle of a team fight when he was interrupted by Little Wolf. He felt terrible. He turned around and patted the little wolf's slightly round belly. Brother, listen to my advice and eat less snacks. Good. The little wolf had empty eyes and said, oh, faintly. Food is the most important thing for people. If people are not allowed to eat, isn't that a matter of life and death? However, Brother Chen said to eat less, so just eat less. By the way, Brother Chen, how is the progress between you and Mr. Su's cousin? Ying told me that you've been going to Mr. Su's office a lot recently. Jiang Chen scratched his head, sighed, and looked a little reluctant. He opened a drawer, took out another bag of walnuts and threw it to the little wolf. Brother, I think you should get another bag. A bag of walnuts can't save this silly kid's amazing train of thought. Jiang Chen was completely convinced. Right now, Xiaolang is the only one in the whole world who thinks that there is something going on between him and Mr. Su's cousin, right? Wan Hai, are you polite? Xiao Yuan, Minister Wang, aren't we human beings? At 9:30, Jiang Chen had already won 3 qualifying games in a row. His timing of entering the field is tricky, and he prefers to play the role of a harvesting assassin, defeating his opponents like a ghost every time. Phew, it feels a bit like frying fish. Jiang Chen raised the corner of his mouth slightly. Nowadays, most people's playing style is still too conservative. I just finished playing the game and was about to watch a show when I heard my phone beep. Su Zining, the top management will hold a meeting at 10 o'clock to discuss your plan. They hope you can be there to explain it. Jiang Chen shrugged helplessly, and so did this group of senior executives. The plan is written so clearly, but you can't even read. This plan can be considered almost perfect. If Jiang Chen doesn't want to go, he can simply refuse. But this time Su Zining talked to Jiang Chen in person. Whether as a husband or an employee, Jiang Chen should go. That is, can I go there for nothing? Jiang Chen asked himself, since I was a child, I have never done a business that didn't make money. You can go, but how about you hug me again at noon? Su Zining's brain buzzed in the office. I hugged Jiang Chen in the morning, and my work efficiency was extremely high throughout the morning. In 2 hours, she completed the usual 4 hours of work, and now her mind is full of thoughts. When can I hug Jiang Chen again? Result. Su Zining, okay, I'll hug you at noon and talk to you nicely. I'll reward you with another hug in the evening. Jiang Chen felt very happy. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone, you can have a hug and check-in at noon and evening. 1,000 bond points. Okay, wife. Just tell me which conference room you're going to. Chapter 14, Something Wrong? Finding Faults? President's Office. Su Zining smiled knowingly. I can't help but complain about myself. Humph, Su Zining, you are too good at talking, aren't you? Is hugging Jiang Chen twice a reward for him? It's clearly a reward for myself, right? At this moment, someone suddenly knocked on the door. Su Zining was stunned, and switched to iceberg state in a second. Enter. Secretary Jiang walked into the office with the sound of high heels and put down a stack of documents. Boss Su, we will be in meeting room 2 later. These are the proposals that Minister Wen Hai just submitted. What Mr. Tang meant is that you should first see if there are any equally wonderful ones that you can take together. Su Zining nodded lightly. Put it here. Secretary Jiang carefully put the documents away and replaced a cup of tea for Su Zining. Boss Su, do you want me to inform Jiang Chen? Su Zining was stunned for a moment and waved her hand. No, I'll talk to Jiang Chen about the plan later. Tell him by the way. Secretary Jiang smiled knowingly and bowed. Okay, President Su, I'll go prepare the materials needed for the meeting now. You can call me anytime. Su Zining only breathed a sigh of relief after she left the office. He took out his cell phone and found the chat box with Jiang Chen. In conference room 2. My little boyfriend. Jiang Chen, okay. Su Zining put down her phone and took the stack of documents that Secretary Jiang had just handed over. I have to say that with Wen Hai personally working overtime, the efficiency of the RD department has really improved a lot. 10 o'clock. Jiang Chen stood up and went straight to meeting room 2. There were already 4 senior executives talking to each other in the room. Jiang Chen did not hesitate and pushed the door open. Manager Zhang is in charge of the company's channel operations, Vice President Wang is in charge of physical economics and trade, and Director Zhao is in charge of overseas operations. Jiang Chen was not afraid and greeted everyone one by one. Until the last senior executive, Chen Shanming, the vice president in charge of the company's finances. When he saw Jiang Chen greeting him, he frowned and looked Jiang Chen up and down. Jiang Chen, your outfit is a bit too casual, isn't it? Chen Shanming snorted coldly, there is a soft rule in the company. When attending high-level meetings, you must have a correct attitude and wear formal attire. You know, this is a rule made by President Su Zining himself. What does the name Su Zining mean in the Ledger Group? As the actual controlling shareholder, the largest shareholder, and the executive president, her words are like an imperial decree. Mr. Chen, I was called to this meeting on short notice and I didn't have time to change into formal attire. Besides, I don't think this outfit is casual. What a joke! Jiang Chen wouldn't even change it when he had time. If it weren't for Su Zining's face, he would not even bother with the meeting. The reason why Su Zining didn't ask Jiang Chen to explain the document when she was reading it was because Su Zining understood it. There were many incompetent senior executives who couldn't understand it, so they had to ask Jiang Chen to explain it. Casual? Oh, Mr. Chen, you didn't know that Su Xianyo was fascinated by your outfit this morning. Besides, what's wrong with me wearing jeans and short sleeves? Have you never worn them before? Look at what we're all wearing. Formal clothes. Take another look at what you are wearing. Your leaders are all here. Do you really want to show off your presence? Chen Shanming roared in a low voice, feeling secretly happy in his heart. He had been scolded by Su Zining once before because of his clothing. These 3 sentences were all said to him by Su Zining. Now when he turned around and scolded Jiang Chen, he found that it felt really good. Many senior executives came one after another, and they all knew that Chen Shanming had been scolded for not wearing formal clothes. Everyone was talking at once. Xiaojiang, this is indeed a bit informal. Why don't you go downstairs and borrow some from your colleagues? Alas, there's no need to be angry with Mr. Chen. He's doing this for your own good. Jiang Chen's face was filled with helplessness. Is it true that a higher-ranking official can crush someone to death? The next second, the sound of high heels was heard in the corridor. Su Zining and Secretary Jiang are here. There was also a middle-aged man beside him, whom Jiang Chen knew. The company's second-largest shareholder is Tang Jiang. Su Zining walked in and saw Chen Shanming and Jiang Chen seemed to be confronting each other. There were many shareholders around him, and he couldn't help but frown. What's wrong? Chen Shanming is looking forward to seeing Su Zining. He felt good using Su Zining's words to scold Jiang Chen, and he felt even better listening to Su Zining scolding Jiang Chen again. "Boss Su, this is Jiang from the RD department. I came to a high-level meeting wearing jeans and short sleeves. I felt that it was a bit casual." He didn't have the right attitude to attend the meeting. He refused to change when asked to, and then he just made a few remarks. "It's okay." Not a word was mentioned about punishing Jiang Chen, and every word was about punishing Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen shrugged helplessly. "Mr. Chen's retelling is correct. I have nothing to say." Su Zining bit her lower lip and fell into deep thought. She just quickly looked over the newly submitted documents, and it was already past 10 o'clock when she finished processing them. Now, it is obvious that Jiang Chen is being troubled by Chen Shanming. She blamed herself a little. If she had handled it faster, she would have come earlier. This kind of thing would not happen. Su Zining raised her eyes, and all the senior executives in the conference room broke out in a cold sweat. Those who don't know Jiang Chen are just waiting to see the show. Those who were optimistic about Jiang Chen broke out in a cold sweat. Xiao Jiang has a good talent for research and development. If he is determined as the final solution this time, he will definitely be promoted in the future. It shouldn't have been a problem for me to get promoted to a senior position in the end, but I didn't expect to make such a mistake. Everyone present thought that Jiang Chen was unlucky this time. You know, as their vice president, Chen Shanming was always instructed by President Su without any mercy. What's more, Jiang Chen is just a member of the department. Su Zining's eyes were indeed cold, but unexpectedly she looked at Chen Shanming. "What's wrong with Jiang Chen's attire? Mr. Chen, come and let me hear what you have to say." Chen Shanming's heart tightened, and he felt that something was wrong. But it has come to this point, he can only bite the bullet and say it. "Boss Su, everyone is wearing formal attire, but Jiang Chen is dressed like this. Isn't it grandstanding and gimmicky?" Su Zining stared at Chen Shanming and said lightly, "Jeans and short sleeves are not formal attire, but Jiang Chen is dressed neatly and decently, so what's wrong with that? Isn't the money a bit nitpicking? In that case, I hope to see a complete and detailed financial statement tomorrow. I also want to find fault with it. If Chen is still brooding over what happened last time. All I can say is that your black suit with khaki shorts is not fancy, but it is alternative. Apologize to Jiang Chen after the meeting. Let's start the meeting now." There was a burst of laughter throughout the conference room. Su Zining sat directly in the main seat, and Chen Shanming returned to his seat with a blushing face. The meeting officially began. Jiang Chen narrowed his eyes slightly. She has an overwhelming aura, is cool and beautiful, and is a great wife. Jiang Chen didn't listen to what was going on until Su Zining gave him a look. Jiang Chen stood up and walked to the big screen, ready to introduce his design plan. A design plan completed in 20 minutes. The revised SK Magic Water theme report was completed in 5 minutes. Product name, Encounter That Love. Jiang Chen bowed to the audience neither humbly nor arrogantly. "Good morning, leaders. I am honored to nominate my design today. Whether it is administered as a final solution is a minor matter here. I hope to receive comments from leaders so that I can improve and strive for excellence." After saying this, Jiang Chen couldn't help but praise himself. This face-saving words are just like love words. As we said, it's pretty good. Well then, give a good introduction to those useless high-ranking officials. Let them know what the top-level solution is that they can't understand. Chapter 15 Youth. Perfect explanation. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Jiang Chen continued to speak. First, the name, and the encounter with love. People are divided into different classes, but time and life are not divided. The girl hiding from the rain under the eaves, the girl with ponytails in the next class who made my heart beat fast. This is the fate of youth that everyone has, and it is beautiful. So, I named it Encounter That Love, with youth as the main theme. Jiang Chen let out a long breath. He just made up these words. It only took him 5 minutes to perfect the SK Magic Water, so he didn't even have time to think of a name. Just pick 5 at random, draw lots, and whichever one you draw gets to be the one. But the leaders in the audience don't know. Muttering quietly. Indeed, youth is always a major theme worth celebrating. This is indeed a good starting point. Who doesn't have a young girl in their youth? Su Zining raised the corner of her mouth slightly and gave Jiang Chen an encouraging look. Jiang Chen nodded and smiled slightly. Excuse me, leaders, what do you think this youthful love should taste like? Manager Jiang spoke first. It should be throbbing and a little shy. This opened up the conversations of the leaders present, especially the male leaders. In my memory, her smile was sweet. Sweet. I think it should taste like anxiety. Meeting by chance, heart-pounding, should be a surprise, right? Jiang Chen made a pause gesture, and the conference room suddenly became quiet. I was surprised by the leader's ideas. There were many things I hadn't thought of. It proves that my ability is still not perfect. I need more practice. Introduce the plan, etc., just flatter the leaders first. Then Jiang Chen changed the subject. But I still want to share my thoughts. I think, whether it's throbbing, sweet, shy, or nervous, I want to boil it down to one thing and not stop there. Imagine that you suddenly meet a girl and feel very attracted to her. You are excited and feel that this is your perfect match. You are overwhelmed with emotions. So what do you want to do most? Continue to understand her, conquer her, and finally win her over. There's nothing wrong with that. How could we stop at the first time we met? Sure enough, after Jiang Chen finished saying this, the leaders looked at each other and nodded. So, I chose lavender as the main flavor. Because when you smell lavender suddenly, it's not easy to catch. Like, if it wasn't a heavy rain, you wouldn't hide under the eaves with her. If the evening breeze had not blown open the window of the classroom next door, you would not have been able to see her through the window. When you notice the scent of lavender, the light and refreshing aroma makes you want to continue smelling it. Isn't this because you don't want to stop here? Jiang Chen's heart was filled with excitement, and he wondered if some brain-dead leaders understood what he said. After a long while, no one responded. Jiang Chen was numb and frowned slightly. Damn it, give me some reaction if you didn't understand. After a full half-minute of silence, the entire conference room burst into thunderous applause. Even some leaders showed knowing smiles on their faces. There's nothing wrong with what Xiao Jiang said. Yes, it strives for excellence and responds to the theme. It can be called perfect. I agree, and I suggest that this be the final solution. Next, Jiang Chen continued to explain the background story and spice selection. The vivid explanation left the senior executives in the audience stunned. By the end of the program, Jiang Chen had lost count of how many times the leaders in the audience applauded him. The same goes for Su Zining. She considers herself to be quite accomplished in the field of perfume. But before that, she only saw the surface of the plan. Jiang Chen's explanation allowed her to see more profound things. The emotional tone, control of details, including the small roll of scraps, are all carefully designed. Jiang Chen, he is really excellent. Facing a group of senior executives, he spoke eloquently and calmly, and his design plan was flawless. How can there be such a perfect man in this world? Hey, he is my little boyfriend. At this moment, Su Zining wanted to hug Jiang Chen. Very much. My eyes unconsciously glanced at Jiang Chen's profile, and my heart melted. Suddenly, a discordant voice sounded. This plan is indeed good and everyone agrees with it. But, Jiang Chen, aren't you a little too conceited? Your entire plan is based on men's feelings. The main users of perfume are women. It's Xian Shanming. He waited for a long time and finally found Jiang Chen's weakness. He just lost face, and he would feel really bad if he didn't deal with Jiang Chen. But, it was beyond his expectation. Jiang Chen was not in a hurry at all, he just looked at him with a smile. Why don't we let Mr. Wang, who is in charge of the entity's operations, answer this question for you? To put it bluntly, Jiang Chen was too lazy to waste time talking to Chen Shanming. He realized that although Chen Shanming was their vice president, he was a little stupid. Since Xiao Jiang has pointed me out, let me explain it to you, Lao Chen. Vice President Wang is now convinced by Jiang Chen. This young man is so strong, so talented, and his plan is so perfect. You said the main users are women, but, according to the market results, the main consumers of perfume are men, who tend to be higher than women. I'll put it in simple terms. I've listened to Xiao Jiang's plan. I want to get this perfume as soon as possible and give it to my wife. Recall those shy and ignorant youthful years. I think this will be the mentality of most consumers in the future. Jiang Chen grinned. Vice President Wang still didn't let go. Men buy it and give it to women to recall the taste of youthful love and increase the interest. Women buy it for their own use, and use the scent of youthful love to make men fall in love with it. But Qian Jiangming frowned, as if he had something else to say. Chapter 16. Let us go. Do something we love. Old Qian, don't be so sad. I think Xiao Jiang's plan is very good. I just discussed it with Ning Ning and decided on this as the final plan. When running a business, it's good to be thoughtful, but you also need to be reckless. Tang Jiang said kindly, interrupting Qian Shanming's words. Jiang Chen let out a long sigh. Since Tang Jiang had spoken, he let it go. Otherwise, he would have to pound Qian Shanming into the ground. With the final decision made by Su Zining and Tang Jiang, the meeting was declared over. Meeting adjourned. Su Zining originally wanted to go up and remind Jiang Chen to come to the office for a hug later. Unexpectedly, Tang Jiang took the lead. Xiao Jiang, this report is well done. There aren't many young people who have a promising future and whom I can give a thumbs up to. Jiang Chen smiled faintly and treated him with respect. Mr. Tang, you are too kind. Actually, there are still many problems. This time I just happened to get the theme I carefully designed. Tang Jiang was slightly stunned and gave Jiang Chen a thumbs up in his heart. Humble, confident, and neither arrogant nor impetuous, this young man is amazing. He nodded secretly and handed Jiang Chen a business card. Xiao Jiang, here is my personal phone number. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Personal business cards represent connections and praise. Jiang Chen understood it and took it without any hesitation. Thank you, Mr. Tang. Tang Jiang patted Jiang Chen on the shoulder and walked away with a smile. At the corner, Jiang Chen saw Su Zining standing quietly at the elevator entrance. Hey, isn't this my beautiful and freezing wife? Waiting for your dear little boyfriend. Su Zining's pretty face turned red, and after looking around to make sure there was no one around, she pouted. No, I just missed the elevator. There are too many people, and we can't squeeze in. Jiang Chen was so upset. Why is his wife so silly? You can't even lie? Looking at the entire Ledger Group, who the hell dares to snatch the elevator from President Su Zining? Are you tired of living or has your brain been blown apart? Now the elevator is here, let's go. Go to your office and do something we both love. Su Zining blushed and went to the office for a hug, hee. This had already made her shy enough, but unexpectedly, the next second, Jiang Chen actually held her right hand. In an instant, Su Zining felt as if she had been electrocuted. Hey! Jiang Chen! Let go! Su Zining was completely frightened when she saw that there was no one in the elevator. Scurried into the elevator like a frightened little rabbit. It wasn't until the elevator door closed that Su Zining breathed a sigh of relief. When Jiang Chen held my hand, a sense of security surged from the bottom of my heart. Well, no one can see it anyway, so let him hold it for a while longer. Just think of it as a reward for such an excellent speech proposal. Well, Su Zining, you are such a considerate and gentle wife. Oh, girlfriend. Just like that, the two held hands and walked all their way to Su Zining's office. The moment the door was closed, Su Zining was pushed against the wall by Jiang Chen's hand. Wife, come on. Su Zining snorted softly, with a hint of cunning appearing at the corner of her mouth. What's coming? Isn't Jiang Chen thinking too comfortably? Humph, you say hug me and I'll hug you. Don't I want to say face? Jiang Chen's face moved closer again, and he raised his eyebrows and smiled. My wife, Jiang Chen, would not go back on her word, right? Su Zining pouted playfully and frowned. That's right. He opened his arms and gave Jiang Chen a big hug. Snort. Jiang Chen took a breath of cold air. Got 500 bond points, great. Beauty is like a hug, comfortable. He discovered one thing, that is, Su Zining was also gradually improving. At least, after hugging me this time, she didn't bury her head shyly. I can still look him in the eye, not bad. Good wife. Jiang Chen couldn't help but praise her, and reached out to gently scratch the tip of Su Zining's pink nose. Su Zining was stunned. This action is too intimate, right? Suddenly, his face turned red again. Subconsciously wanting to stay away from Jiang Chen, he quickly sat back at his desk. Support your forehead with your right hand. It suddenly occurred to me that I still need to sort out the content of this morning's meeting. Wow, it's so busy. There's so much work. I have to do it quickly. Su Zining said to herself. Jiang Chen was so upset. What the hell did I do? Why is this girl shy again? Damn, the internet never deceives me, women's minds are hard to guess. Jinghai City, Shangri-La Hotel. There has never been a shortage of luxury cars here, and the palace-style decoration is magnificent. The ladies coming in and out were all dressed in high-end brands, had elegant manners and decent conversation. Even the reception staff were well-dressed and polite. At this time, a Rolls-Royce slowly stopped in front of the entrance of Shangri-La Hotel. Su Zining got out of the car from the back seat and walked towards the middle-aged man who was standing by the road waiting. Old Tang, I'm sorry. I couldn't sleep last night, so I took a nap this morning and I'm late. Tang Jiang glanced at Su Zining. He was very unhappy about waiting on the roadside for so long. Hello, I came here right after a meeting at Ledger Group. Waited for half an hour. Raise an eyebrow and smile. Lao Su, insomnia? Is it because of poor health? I told you before that you should be moderate. 1 drop of semen is 10 drops of blood. Do you regret it now? Su Zining frowned and glared at Tang Jiang. Get lost, you old pervert. I was so excited that I fell asleep happily. That's right, this was the reason why Su Zining was so excited that he couldn't sleep. Of course, Su Zining is in love. Just last night, Su Zining had planned everything. According to the man's surname, if it is a boy, he will be named Jiang Chen. If it's a girl, she'll be named Chen Yu. As for diapers, you should buy better ones and change them frequently. Tang Jiang and Su Zining sat in the private room of Zijin Pavilion, ordered some wine and food, and started talking. Lao Su, if you want to talk about exciting things, I have one too. You don't know that there is a talented person in Lage. When Su Zining heard this, his eyes lit up. Talent? Since ancient times, emperors have valued talents. Now even capitalists like talented people. Oh? Old Tang, tell me quickly, who can enter your diamond eye? In fact, the Ledger Group was jointly invested by Su Zining and Tang Jiang. It's just that Su Zhining's shares were transferred to Su Zining, and Tang Jiang only held a small share. The two have always been good brothers, and Su Zining often asks Tang Jiang for advice on his daughter's work problems. So Su Zining knew better than anyone that Tang Jiang was an extremely strict person. When it comes to work, especially design, Tang Jiang has his own ideas. Anyone who can be called a talent by Tang Jiang is definitely not simple. At least he should be better than brother Jiang Chen, right? Tang Jiang kept the question in suspense and said with a smile. Old Su, imagine a guy in his early 20s facing a group of senior executives from Ledger. He was neither humble nor overbearing, spoke appropriately, and expressed his design ideas perfectly. Isn't he this excellent? Su Zining scratched his head. What happened? It's normal, damn, this is the brother Jiang Chen I know. When talking to me privately, he is not inferior to me at all. I am worth hundreds of billions. Isn't he brother Jiang Chen better? That's it. Tang Jiang glared at Su Zining fiercely. Of course not. Before the meeting started, Chen Shanming was looking for trouble with him. As a result, a small employee was not afraid at all when facing their vice president. This courage and confidence is okay, right? Su Zining was even more dissatisfied. What the hell? I raised the price by 100,000 to buy brother Jiang Chen's necklace, but he was unmoved. In order to help his brother pursue my daughter, he would risk offending me. Doesn't this show more courage and confidence? What kind of talent do you think he is? He is far inferior to brother Jiang Chen. Finally, he added with a sly smile. Old Tang, your standards have dropped recently. Chapter 17, is he really little brother Jiang Chen? Tang Jiang slammed the table angrily and growled. Will you please just listen to me? Su Zining shrugged and motioned Tang Jiang to continue. Tang Jiang rolled his eyes and took a bite of the cold dish. The design is flawless and there is nothing wrong with it. Every word he said had its own unique meaning, whether it was in his dealings or conversations. How do you feel, Lao Su? Su Zining raised his eyebrows and said, young people become more mature as time goes by. What's wrong? Brother Jiang Chen is the same. How perfect is the plan? At this time, their waiter brought white wine, poured it for Su Zining and Tang Jiang respectively, bowed and left the private room. Tang Jiang smacked his lips. How can I explain this? How can we make the shocking effect the strongest and give this old man Su Zining a heavy blow? Got it. The RD department was originally given 5 days to design a solution. You know Ningning's personality, right? She's a perfectionist who always finds fault with everything. Today is the second day I saw this employee's design plan. Ningning praised it highly and agreed with me to make it the final solution. What do you think this proves? Su Zining almost choked himself after taking a sip of white wine. Huh? The final plan will be determined the next day. Is this something my daughter would do? Su Zining knew very well that Su Zining was a perfectionist. It's only the second day and most of the employees' plans have not been submitted yet. Ningning didn't wait or choose, and just decided on this one. This is fucking outrageous. Moreover, that employee submitted a proposal the next day, and it was such a perfect proposal. Thinking of this, Su Zining suddenly became aware and raised his thumb. Old Tang, this guy is really a talent. Tell me quickly, what's your name? I want to talk to Ningning about it. You should also keep an eye on Leg. He needs to be trained as a priority. Tang Jiang raised the corner of his mouth slightly. Are you scared? Are you confused? Jiang Chen from the RD department has only been here for a little over a year, right? Just as he finished speaking, the next second, Su Zining spat out a mouthful of wine. It sprayed all over the floor. He stared at Tang Jiang intently, his face full of confusion, as if he was saying something. What's that employee's name? Jiang Chen. You better think before you speak. Then Su Zining came to his senses. This shouldn't be the Jiang Chen he knew, right? After all, if he had a brother who could spend 3 million to buy a necklace, would he go to Ledger to work as a clerk? No, there is no need to do so. Lao Su, I told you there's something wrong with your body. You can even spray wine after drinking it. You really need to take some time to go to the hospital. Su Zining was full of black lines on his head. Does drinking and spraying have anything to do with the body? Don't talk about this for now. Show me Jiang Chen's photo. Let me see what the genius of the new era looks like. Well, let us confirm whether this is the Jiang Chen I know. Tang Jiang didn't think much about it, as Ledger would hold an annual general meeting every year. He casually flipped through it and found the group photo of the RD department, and handed the phone to Su Zining. The most handsome one in there. Su Zining saw Jiang Chen's figure with a nervous heart and trembling hands. A Chinese quintessence, what came out of his mouth? Is he really the little brother Jiang Chen that he knows? He works for the Ledger Group. Oh my goodness. Old Tang, I finally understand why you can praise him so highly. Jiang Chen and I have encountered this before. Su Zining briefly described his encounter with Jiang Chen, which left Tang Jiang stunned. You mean, Ningning is now in love with Jiang Chen's brother? Su Zining nodded heavily. Yes, that's right. But I haven't met Jiang Chen's brother until now. It's not convenient to ask Ningning. Tang Jiang said with an excited look on his face and a smile. Jiang Chen is so outstanding, his brothers must be no worse. Lao Su, this is a dream come true for you. Tang Jiang had his own plans in mind. Jiang Chen has a brother who can spend 3 million yuan to buy a necklace. Can his background be simple? Impossible. Birds of a feather flock together. Fish seek fish, shrimps seek shrimps, and turtles seek tortoises. Where can you find such a good man if you miss him? This is a perfect match for my daughter. Tang Jiang raised the corner of his mouth and raised his glass. Lao Su, let's not talk about this anymore, let's drink. So, the two men, each with their own ulterior motives, drank happily. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Jiang Chen clocked in on time and just sat down at his workstation. Wang Hai walked into the staff member's office and coughed lightly. Well, he was afraid that it would affect Jiang Chen's watching of TV series. That's Mr. Su's cousin's husband. It would be a sin if we scared him. Even his tone was lowered and his attitude was very good. Everyone please pay attention and study the plan. We don't need to do it anymore. Jiang Chen's design has been confirmed as the final plan. All the employees were stunned. What the hell, so fast? Goddamn, this is not the character of the company's senior management. In an instant, there was a lot of discussion, and Wan Hai quickly stretched out his hand to signal them to stop. Because Jiang Chen's solution is very suitable for this new product. Boss Su has decided to raise Jiang Chen's bonus to 200,000 yuan. Doubled all of a sudden. 200,000. That's more than a year's salary for them. In addition, the additional reward of 100,000 yuan will be divided equally among our RD department. Tomorrow is Friday. We will have a team building at the company's cafeteria number 1 at noon, and we will have an early holiday in the afternoon. As soon as Wen Hai finished speaking, the entire RD department was in an uproar. Fuck. Jiang Chen is awesome, President Su is the eternal god. Oh my god, brother Jiang Chen, we love you. 100,000 yuan, several thousand each, Jiang Chen is our god. Jiang Chen smiled slightly, worthy of being Sushanv. By spending 100,000 yuan, we won the hearts of the RD employees. Determining the plan in advance means the benefits of early production and putting it on the agenda. 100,000 yuan can be earned back in a blink of an eye. The little wolf gave Jiang Chen a look with a sly smile. Brother Chen, she has to be your cousin. I'm really taking good care of you. I just confirmed the final plan. Awesome. Jiang Chen. Stop talking, have you finished your morning walnuts? The little wolf nodded and gave a thumbs up. Well, I think it's so delicious, there's so much in one bag. Ying and I each took a bite, and it was gone in no time. Jiang Chen was not stingy either, after all he was his brother. Take out your cell phone and copy a link directly to Little Wolf. Buy it at this store. Eat more if you have nothing to do. Good. Damn it, I've rejected Little Wolf so many times. Is this kid still with his cousin? I'm really convinced, that's not my cousin. That's my wife. Hurry up and eat more. Just as Xiaolang was about to talk to Jiang Chen, Wen Hai came over with a smile. Jiang Chen, we just discussed it. At tomorrow's team building, you, as the biggest contributor, will have to perform your talent. Talent? Jiang Chen was stunned for a moment. Tell me a talk show. Wen Hai blinked and shook his head. This can easily become a dull occasion. Indeed, Jiang Chen coughed lightly. How about a catwalk? Showing off your coolness, that suits me well, right? Wen Hai scratched his head. That's absolutely perfect, but it's a little inappropriate for tomorrow's occasion. It is said that President Su will be here. It is not appropriate to be too fancy. Chapter 18, Warmth. It's the love of my boyfriend. Will Su Xianyu come? Jiang Chen was stunned. No wonder Wen Hai was nervous and didn't want to make it fancy. But what does this have to do with Jiang Chen? Whatever performance doesn't he make Su Xianyu laugh? Oh, it's just President Su, don't worry, I have my own arrangements. At this moment, Jiang Chen pretended. Wen Hai suddenly realized, yes, why should I worry about it? Jiang Chen is Mr. Su's cousin's husband. They are family, so there is nothing he can't come up with. Ouch, my head. Then I feel relieved. Wen Hai walked away quickly and stopped disturbing Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen raised the corner of his mouth slightly. He particularly likes watching talk shows recently. It feels very interesting and I really want to try it. So. Ding, congratulations to the host for activating the hidden mission. Tomorrow's team building, impress your partner Su Zining and you will be rewarded with 1,000 points of bond value. P.S. Use the lottery to obtain the skill, Piano Master, and the reward will be doubled. Jiang Chen was stunned. Shit, I even acquired this skill. Double the piano reward. Come to think of it, most people can't do talk shows and it's easy for the show to become a dull occasion. It's better to just play the piano honestly, and the system skills are more stable. Isn't this just for shock value? No, this is for safety. Since there was no need to make a plan, Jiang Chen persuaded Xiaolang to play duo with him for the entire afternoon. Although he's not very smart, the little wolf is pretty good at playing games. We have been winning streak all the way and it is almost time to get off work. Jiang Chen ran straight to Su Zining's office on the top floor. It was time to collect the bond value and hug the beauty. Still no knock on the door, but Jiang Chen was stunned. Su Xianyu, actually, fell asleep on the desk. In the hot summer, the air conditioning in the office was very low, so Su Zining only wore a professional OL shirt. It would be strange if you don't catch a cold if you sleep like this. Logically, Jiang Chen should wake Su Zining up. After hugging, just run away. But he thought about it and decided to give up. That was too unmanly. Jiang Chen was quite familiar with Su Zining's office. In the compartment on the right, there is Su Zining's wardrobe. He had to find a coat for Su Zining to wear. Looking at the wardrobe in front of him, Jiang Chen fell into deep thought. If I open it rashly, Su Xianyu won't get angry, right? In case there is something you shouldn't see. Think about it. This is my wife, drive. It's better to have things you shouldn't see. Jiang Chen looked relieved and pulled open the wardrobe. What wafted towards me was the same faint fragrance as Su Zining's. The clothes inside are neatly arranged, which catches the eye. It's a set of professional attire. Doesn't this chick have any other clothes? Jiang Chen murmured, finally. At the bottom of the closet, I found a sports top. It looks good and is the right thickness. Jiang Chen closed the cabinet door, walked quietly behind Su Zining, and glanced at her delicate face. I couldn't help but sigh in my heart, this girl is too tired, she actually fell asleep on the table. Call. Put the shirt on Su Zining's back. Ding, it is detected that their host cares about his lover, replacing the evening hug check-in task. Bond value gained, 500. Jiang Chen took a breath and said, shit, that works. This system will cause trouble. This trip was not in vain. Nodding with satisfaction, Jiang Chen turned around and was about to leave the office. He didn't have the heart to wake Su Zining up. Since she was so tired, she should just go to sleep. But he had just taken 2 steps when suddenly, an alarm sounded behind him. What the hell? Sure enough, Su Zining sat up all of a sudden. I shivered and felt so cold, huh? Why is there a coat behind me? Never mind, just put it on first. Jiang Chen should be here soon, right? Hey, I have to wake up quickly. Su Zining's brain was forced to turn on and spin rapidly. She set the alarm specifically because she was afraid that she would oversleep. She set the alarm for the exact time, but she never expected this. In the past, Jiang Chen would wait until her colleagues left before coming to see her. I'll come 5 minutes early today. When she raised her head, she was looking into the eyes of Jiang Chen, who was smiling teasingly. Su Zining was stunned. Jiang Chen, when did you come? Su Zining asked weakly, her face turning visibly red. Just arrived a few minutes ago. I thought I wouldn't be able to hug you tonight. My wife is so good that she set the alarm to wake me up for a hug. Jiang Chen said jokingly, his eyes shining. He dared to say with confidence that he had worked at Ledger Group for several years. I've never seen Su Zining wearing anything other than professional attire. Just now, Su Zining casually put on this sports jacket, and Jiang Chen felt. Her whole demeanor changed at once. She is not so cold anymore, and has the image of a gentle and playful sporty big sister. TSK, that's not the case. I'm afraid someone won't be able to hug me today, and will tell me tomorrow. I didn't hug you last night. I need to hug you more. Su Zining said with a delicate hum. Jiang Chen was stunned and gave Su Zining a thumbs up in his heart. She is worthy of being my wife. She really understands me. Jiang Chen really thinks so. Well, come and hug me now, wife. Su Zining pouted and nodded. Jiang Chen walked to Su Zining and gave her a simple hug. In fact, he wanted to test it out after the evening hug check-in task was replaced. If I hug him again, will I still gain bond value? As a result, the system prompt sound did not sound. It seems that it won't work. It's not a loss to hug my wife, so forget it if she doesn't give it to me. I've made a lot of money today anyway. By the way, honey, I find that you have a different charm when you are not wearing professional attire. Would you like to try some different styles of clothing? Su Zining's brain buzzed and she reacted. This dress was found by Jiang Chen himself from the closet and given to her when she was sleeping. Was it Jiang Chen who put it on me personally? No wonder I don't feel cold after putting it on. It turns out that it was because of my boyfriend's careful and gentle love tilde. Chapter 19 Wife, please listen to my excuses. Don't you men like this kind of professional attire? Mature and intellectual? Su Zining asked with a smile on her face. Jiang Chen was stunned, his face full of black lines. Who said that? Su Zining frowned slightly and pointed to the next room with her slender jade finger. Secretary Zhang is like that. After she started dating your little brother. She dresses so maturely every day. Just because your brother likes it, right? Jiang Chen let out a long breath. How the hell can I be the same as that wretched straight guy like Xiaolang? My brother has a big vision. Wouldn't it be fresher to change the style and taste? Jiang Chen's mouth curled up slightly. If you really want to say you like it. Actually, if I had to say what I like most, it's not sportswear. It's JK. Su Zining was stunned and looked at Jiang Chen stupidly. What is JK? Jiang Chen was completely stunned. What the hell? Although Su Zining is the cold female CEO of the Ledger Group, she is, after all, just a girl in her early 20s. You don't even know what JK is. No internet at home. It's just a uniform, and it seems to suit you, my wife. It's also a kind of uniform. What's the difference between it and professional attire? Su Zining did not understand Jiang Chen's explanation, she only remembered a concept. JK is the outfit that Jiang Chen likes. Is it really suitable for me? Jiang Chen said with a smile, moving closer to Su Zining. Yes, especially for a silly woman like you who drools in her sleep. Su Zining was stunned. Me, drooling while sleeping? Looking up, following Jiang Chen's gaze, Su Zining looked at the desk where she had just fallen asleep. There is really a hint of crystal clearness. In a flash, Su Zining's face became cooked. Oh. How embarrassing. Jiang Chen. Why didn't you tell me earlier? You did it on purpose. Su Zining's body heaved and she looked at Jiang Chen angrily. Isn't this so embarrassing? Oh, don't worry, honey. I just saw it too. It's okay. Who hasn't drooled while sleeping? I'll wipe it for you. Su Zining was shocked and snatched the tissue from Jiang Chen's hand. But because his center of gravity was unstable, he stumbled. Their whole person was about to fall heavily to the ground. Fuck. Jiang Chen was startled and quickly reached out and hugged Su Zining. Damn, this silly girl, luckily I reacted quickly. Otherwise, wouldn't he or but be broken into pieces? Slurp. I felt a warmth coming from my palm. Jiang Chen took a breath of cold air, so soft. I squeezed it with my palm. Hard. Is it a bone? He unconsciously moved his gaze downwards, and happened to meet Su Zining's eyes. Jiang Chen. You're a hooligan. Jiang Chen blurted out, fuck. Honey, listen to my excuses. No, wife, please listen to my explanation. With his brain spinning rapidly, Jiang Chen figured it out. He just pinched it a little more on purpose, that doesn't explain anything. Run. Wife, hey, I suddenly remembered that I have something to do in the evening. I have to perform a talent show tomorrow. I'll withdraw first. Bye. Oh yeah, I wiped it for you. Jiang Chen picked up the tissue and helped Su Zining wipe the table clean. Without saying a word, he ran out of Su Zining's office. Damn, I'm addicted to teasing Su Shanv. I almost forgot that she is still the iceberg female boss in essence. Ding, judging by the intimate behavior between the host and his lover. Bond points +5, reaching 65 points, daily check-in rewards doubled. The host heroically saved the beauty, preventing his lover from falling, and performed excellently. Special reward bond value 2000. Jiang Chen scratched his head. This time, he made a lot of money. Looking back at the president's office, Su Zining felt her whole face was burning. If I had a thermometer and took my temperature, it would probably be 38.6 degrees. Oh. Isn't he too bad? Su Zining thought of the embarrassing scene just now. She was indeed about to fall, and Jiang Chen helped her up. Of course, no problem. Although, I touched her waist, she was not an unreasonable woman. But? What the hell is this? I pinched it harder on purpose. This bastard is taking advantage of me. You run fast. Su Zining pouted, but no one had ever touched her waist. As she spoke, she seemed to have the ambition to tear Jiang Chen to pieces. But as to what she was thinking in her heart, no one knows except herself. Anyway, looking at the expression on her face, she was intoxicated with happiness. After a long while, Su Zining let out a long sigh. Make a call. Come here. 2 minutes later, Secretary Zhang pushed the door open. Boss Su, you're looking for me. Su Zining knew that there were a lot of trivial matters today. So Secretary Zhang will work overtime in the company until 10 o'clock. Rest a little longer tomorrow morning and arrive at the company at 10 o'clock. Secretary Zhang was stunned. As a professional secretary, she immediately understood what Su Zining meant. Is there something Mr. Su wants me to do? Su Zining said, lightly. I wanted to speak, but didn't know how to start, so I stammered. Go buy me a condom. Secretary Jiang almost sat down on the floor. A professional old secretary. Even if I am the Secretary General of the United Nations, I can't stand what President Su said. Buy a JK? Boss Su, are you sure it's JK, not CK? Su Zining nodded. JK, a kind of uniform, help me buy one. Secretary Jiang's brain was spinning rapidly. She really couldn't imagine what Su Zining would look like in JK clothing. Boss Su, which one is that? Do you have any color requirements? Su Zining was stunned for a moment, her face. He turned his eyes to the computer and quickly opened a document. Find the one that belongs to Jiang Chen. Favorite color, blue. Blue, please. As for the style, just pick the one you like. Secretary Jiang breathed a sigh of relief when he saw Su Zining looking at the computer. Mr. Su must have bought it for someone else, right? That's good, I'm scared to death. Okay, Mr. Su. After Secretary Jiang left, Su Zining breathed a sigh of relief. His eyes unconsciously glanced towards the desk. Just now, Jiang Chen wiped away the blood she had shed while sleeping in a panic. In fact, Su Zining rejected Jiang Chen just because she was afraid. She was afraid that Jiang Chen would dislike her, after all. That's saliva. As a result, Jiang Chen didn't even feel disgusted. This made Su Zining happy from the bottom of her heart. A sense of solidity and security arises from the bottom of my heart when I am firmly chosen by others. Since my boyfriend behaves so well. Then I will wear the clothes he likes tomorrow and show them to him. I hope he won't dislike me. Su Zining's face was full of anticipation. Shizuka Street, Lyra Music House. Jiang Chen's face darkened. It was not even 7 o'clock yet. The music store is closed. No, doesn't anyone buy a piano at night? Scratching his hair, Jiang Chen found his boss's phone number on the wall. Hello, I'm at the piano store now and want to buy a piano. Do you have time to come to the store? Chapter 20, Add Money. Money makes the world go round. Jiang Chen wants to buy a piano for tomorrow's talent show. Even with the piano master skills blessed by the system, he didn't want to be too casual. Buy a piano and familiarize yourself with the keys, and choose some music. Dude, I just got home. My wife has even prepared the meal. Can we buy it tomorrow? Zhang Jian, the owner of Qianqin Music House, replied apologetically. In fact, there is a reason why he is not in a hurry. Because the piano of Qianqin Music Bureau is famous throughout Jinghai City. There is no worry about selling it, but today, he really doesn't want to move. After dinner, with your wife and children on a warm bed, wouldn't it be nice to have a sweet sleep? Jiang Chen was slightly stunned. Tomorrow? That won't do. We need it tonight, so we have to buy it. Add $2,000 for errands. Zhang Jian on the other end of the phone was obviously stunned. 2,000 yuan for errands? His house is actually not far from the piano store, only 10 minutes drive away. Do you have a favorite style? It turns out that money is still the best. Jiang Chen took a breath. The style he liked. I glanced inside the piano store through the outer glass. There is one that is displayed alone, and it looks more high-end and elegant than the other styles. After telling Zhang Jian that I wanted this model, Zhang Jian felt a little embarrassed and took off the coat he had just put on. Dude, this one's been reserved. How about I wait for you to go to the store tomorrow and show you something else? Have you made a reservation? Jiang Chen nodded secretly and glanced around again. The others are much worse than that one in terms of style and appearance. As the saying goes, when you do something, do it to the best of your ability. When buying things, you must do it in one go and buy what you like most. Deposit? Sorry, money talks. How much deposit did that person give you? Zhang Jian's eyes lit up, and he vaguely understood what Jiang Chen meant. This is trying to intercept them halfway. How can this be done? Doing business requires honesty, okay? 20,000. The piano costs about 480,000. If you break the contract, we will have to pay double the deposit. Sir, I really can't transfer it to you. Jiang Chen raised the corner of his mouth slightly. Can't transfer? If the original price of the piano is 480,000, although this kind of piano is not worth much. But the price that Jiang Chen agreed upon was definitely lower than 480,000. 500,000, I want this piano moved to my house tonight. Jiang Chen swallowed hard and looked at the table full of delicious food his wife had just prepared. All of a sudden my appetite was gone. 500,000, the net profit can reach nearly 100,000. Even if you pay double the deposit, you will still earn more. Damn it, doing business requires integrity, get out of here. I am a businessman and I have to focus on money. He said to Jiang Chen on the other end of the phone with a smile. Okay, please wait a moment, I'll be there in 10 minutes. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Chen burst out laughing. He just spent 1,000 shock points to exchange for a discount coupon in the system mall. Mission-related 10% discount coupon. For example, his piano playing tomorrow will be part of the hidden mission. Jiang Chen can use this discount coupon as part of the expenses he incurred in preparing for this mission. In other words, the original price of this piano is 500,000 yuan, but Jiang Chen only needs to spend 50,000 yuan to buy it. Fuck, it's really a system, it's so thoughtful. Jiang Chen couldn't help but mutter. After a while, Jiang Chen and three big men arrived at the door of the music store. Open the door, test the sound, swipe the card, and load the car. Jiang Chen didn't feel relieved until he put the piano for Jiang Chen in the living room. Mr. Jiang, congratulations on buying a Yamaha. As he said this, he handed Jiang Chen a business card. After Jiang Chen accepted it, Jiang Chen and his men left with a smile. Fortunately, my house is quite big, otherwise it would be difficult to put a piano in it. Sit in front of the piano and look at the black and white keys. Endless techniques and scores emerged in Jiang Chen's mind. His fingers casually tapped on the keys, jumping flexibly. After the song ended, he let out a long breath. The notes are melodious and graceful, like dancing elves. It's worthy of the skill given by the system. To choose the songs, Jiang Chen only needs to filter them in his mind. Basically, as soon as he thinks of the title of a song, the general melody and emotional tone will immediately appear in his mind. Finally, the corners of his mouth curled up slightly, and he chose a perfect song. Damn it, wouldn't this make Su Xianyu burst into tears? The bond value goes into my pocket obediently. In the early morning, a ray of sunlight shines into the room. After packing up, Jiang Chen went straight to the company. The RD department was particularly busy today. After scanning his face, Jiang Chen went straight to the top floor. Although things in the office yesterday were a bit awkward, Jiang Chen chatted through Penguin last night. After sounding out Su Zining's attitude, it seems that there is no big problem. Pushing the door open, Jiang Chen smiled slightly. Wife, come, give me a hug in the morning. Go straight to Su Zining. Su Zining was not restrained either. She stretched out her arms and gave Jiang Chen a big hug. I heard that my boyfriend is going to perform a talent show. Spoiler. Spoiler. That 1T work, the effect 1T be good. What if the system doesn't give bond value? Jiang Chen suddenly had an idea and pointed at the black edges of his eye sockets and said pitifully. Honey, did you see that? What is this? Dark circles under the eyes. Why do I have dark circles under my eyes? I stayed up late last night preparing for my talent show. Su Zining frowned slightly. Are you tired now? It's just a team building, there's no need. She cares about Jiang Chen very much. What if he hurts his body by staying up late? But before he could finish his words, Jiang Chen put his finger to his lips. He made a hush gesture to her. He even deliberately moved closer to Su Zining with a gentle tone. Because I heard yesterday that my beautiful and freezing wife might come to visit. How can I surprise my wife if I don't prepare adequately? All she could hear was Jiang Chen's tingling voice, and Su Zining was stunned. So, Jiang Chen stayed up late and got dark circles under his eyes to prepare his talent show in order to surprise me. How can he be so good? Having been wetted in this way, Su Zining was looking forward to Jiang Chen's show even more. I felt like there were a group of ants crawling in my heart. I was extremely anxious. I can't wait for noon so I can go and see it. Oh no, before that, I have to change into the JK uniform that Jiang Chen likes. Give him a surprise too, hee hee. She raised her eyes and saw Jiang Chen had already walked to the office door. My wife, please be on time. Su Zining smiled gently and nodded obediently. Aha! After returning to the RD department, Jiang Chen went straight to his workstation. He turned on the computer, turned around and patted Xiaolang's shoulder. Little wolf, come to the station. The little wolf was stunned and stared at Jiang Chen's eyes. Brother Chen, you have some dark circles under your eyes. Jiang Chen waved his hands and couldn't help but complain. Damn it, don't mention it. I played the King's qualifying tournament until 3 in the morning. Those teammates with cerebral palsy all looked like they had cerebral thrombosis. If I sprinkle some rice on the keyboard and let my chicken fight, it will be 100 times better than them. The little wolf took a breath of cold air. As expected, he is Brother Chen. We had a team building show today and fought all night in the canyon last night. Chapter 21 JK is in place, give Jiang Chen a boost. 10 o'clock. Secretary Jiang came to Su Zining's office carrying 2 sets of JK uniforms. Boss Su, I bought these 2 sets at a store in Tianhe Plaza that specializes in handmade custom-made items. There are sky blue and light blue, so I just bought them both. Su Zining stretched out her hand and motioned Secretary Jiang to put it on the desk. Go to the finance department and report the bill. After Secretary Jiang left, Su Zining couldn't wait to take the 2 exquisite boxes. The moment you open the clothes and see them. Su Zining was stunned. Why is it a short skirt? This uniform is too girly, isn't it? Su Zining has never worn such clothes before. No wonder Secretary Jiang was stunned yesterday. This is really not Su Zining's style. At 10:30, members of the RD department gathered in the lobby of restaurant number 1 of the Ledger Group on time. As a Fortune 500 company, the restaurants of the Ledger Group are of extremely high standards. No worse than a 5-star hotel. Wan Hai's face was filled with glory, as if he was the one who had decided on the final plan. After running around for a while, he was so tired that he was out of breath and sat down. It's a pity we're indoors, otherwise, we would have set off some firecrackers to celebrate. With a sigh, the moment he looked back, Wan Hai was greatly encouraged. His butt bounced up and he stood up. Greeted him with a smile. Because Jiang Chen came with the little wolf. Xiao Jiang, it's not ready yet. How about you sit down and rest for a while? Wan Hai's attitude is very good, and Jiang Chen really can't adapt to it. What is this kid up to again? Just wave your hand and refuse. You are busy, leave me alone. Having said that, he took the little wolf to sit in the corner. Wan Hai scratched his head. It showed TB that he had such a humble attitude. The licking was so perfect, why did Jiang Chen seem so indifferent? While still confused, Wan Hai saw another person walking towards him. He almost stumbled and fell to the ground, damn it. This is a heavyweight. Mr. Chen, why are you here? Wan Hai used the same trick again and licked it directly. Oh no, just come closer. Chen Shanming glanced at Wan Hai and said lightly. Just strolling around, by the way. Where's Jiang Chen? Wan Hai said in his heart, fuck. He is worthy of being Mr. Su's cousin-in-law. Even Mr. Chen came to see Jiang Chen in person. Wan Hai pointed to the corner and chuckled. Master Jiang is over there, shall I take you there? Chen Shanming was shocked, young Master Jiang? He frowned slightly, feeling a little confused. He heard that Wan Hai and Jiang Chen were having a quarrel. Logically speaking, the two of them shouldn't get along, right? Mr. Jiang. There seems to be something fishy going on here? Otherwise, it would be hard to explain Wan Hai's change in attitude. It's just that it's a bit inappropriate to ask now. Then, Chen Shanming smiled slightly and patted Wan Hai on the shoulder. No need, Minister Wang, please continue with your work. After the team building is over, come to my office to chat. Wan Hai was shocked. What the hell? Has my hard work finally been noticed by my leader? I was so excited that I almost jumped to the sky and nodded quickly. Okay, Mr. Chen, I'll be there after the team building is done. Jiang Chen and Xiaolang were reviewing several team battles in the morning. Then Chen Shanming floated over like a big fly. Although it is annoying, we still have to be polite. Money is always good. The little wolf had his back to Chen Shanming when he heard what Jiang Chen said. Turning around, I saw Chen Shanming's serious face. His hand shook and the drink spilled directly onto Chen Shanming's pants. The little wolf is about to cry. Mr. Chen, I didn't mean it. I'll wipe it off for you. Jiang Chen was shocked. Wow, bro, great job. Chen Shanming's face was full of black lines, and he wiped it with paper. It's okay. I have something to tell Jiang Chen. The little wolf understood it immediately. What Mr. Chen meant was that I should get out. Okay, I'll get the hell out of here. Jiang Chen smiled at Chen Shanming. Mr. Chen came here today. Could it be that he wanted to tell me what went wrong with the plan? Or am I dressed casually today? Chen Shanming smiled awkwardly. Thinking of what happened last time, he felt itchy. He wanted to tear Jiang Chen into pieces. He thought that Su Zining was just casually asking him to apologize to Jiang Chen. As a result, just now when he went to submit the weekly financial report, he was severely scolded by Su Zining. Asked him why he hasn't apologized to Jiang Chen yet. Thinking of Su Zining's cold tone, Chen Shanming felt a little scared. Xiao Jiang, I'm here today. I apologize to you for what happened last time. It is true that I am rude. Please accept this. Chen Shanming took out a bank card from his pocket and handed it to Jiang Chen. There is 50,000 yuan in it. It is my compensation and reward to you. You must accept it. Jiang Chen raised the corner of his mouth slightly. Since ancient times, has it ever made sense for a boss to apologize and pay money? It's okay, Jiang Chen, I'm just setting a precedent. Okay, Mr. Chen, there's no password, right? Really 50,000. Don't tease me. Don't be a fool if you have money. No matter who gives it to you, I will accept it. Chen Shanming was confused. Jiang Chen was questioning whether there was 50,000 yuan in the card. He is a vice president, is it possible that he can't even come up with 50,000 yuan? On second thought, Jiang Chen is not a fool. I said it on purpose to embarrass him. He grinned fiercely. I have something else to do, so I'm leaving now. Chen Shanming found an excuse to slip away, as he was afraid to stay any longer. Jiang Chen got so angry that he had a cerebral hemorrhage. Anyway, Jiang Chen accepted the card and he had an explanation to President Su. Jiang Chen is playing with cards. Damn, that's great. Someone paid for the piano last night. At 11:30, people from the RD department arrived one after another. The scene began to get lively. Xiao Jiang, what talent are you going to perform later? I think Xiao Jiang's being cool is a talent, right? You're right. The women in our department all put on makeup. They all have bad intentions towards Xiao Jiang. Jiang Chen listened to their discussions, smiled and said nothing. He glanced at Sui Hua and Xiaolang who were already there, and indeed roared. It looks much better than usual. 5 minutes later, everyone was there. Wan Hai stood up and gave a speech with tears of gratitude. The little wolf sitting next to Jiang Chen couldn't open his eyes. What's worse, some people have already started to kowtow and doze off. Finally, Wan Hai finished his speech and looked at Jiang Chen with raised eyebrows. Now, let's ask our department's research and development genius, Jiang Chen. Come and show your talents. Suddenly, the listless crowd became radiant and their voices became louder and louder. Brother Chen, it's your turn, come on. I finally waited for Brother Chen's performance. I'm so excited. Damn it, sister, hold me down, looking at Brother Jiang's profile, I'm about to give birth. Jiang Chen's face was full of black lines, he really wanted to say something. Brothers and sisters, it's not possible now. Damn, President Su hasn't arrived yet, so I can't perform. Otherwise, I will be in big trouble. What is Su Xianyu doing? Why hasn't she come yet? How about we wait a little longer? Play a little game or something. No one would refuse this proposal, right? Wang Hai looked at everyone with a smile and patted the table. Oh, our genius is still shy. Come on, give him a boost. Suddenly, their whole hall was filled with the sound of "Come on, Jiang Chen." Jiang Chen was completely numb. He really wanted to slap Wan Hai twice. Just as he was about to find an excuse to shirk his responsibility, Jiang Chen noticed it keenly. The door to their hall was gently pushed open. Chapter 22: A Wedding in a Dream. Su Zining wants a hug. The next second, Jiang Chen was completely stunned. Oh shit, who the hell is this? Judging from her outfit, she is definitely a sweet girl. But looking at her appearance, she looks exactly like my icy wife. I was stunned for a moment. My wife has a twin sister. Shit, this is my wife, Su Zining, the icy female CEO of Ledger Group. Jiang Chen suddenly remembered that he had accidentally mentioned yesterday that he liked JK uniforms. So, Su Xianyo, is this for me to wear? Touching the tip of his nose, Jiang Chen felt a sense of happiness from the bottom of his heart. Following Jiang Chen's gaze, Wan Hai also glanced and was immediately shocked. Fuck, comrades, here comes a beauty. Beautiful lady, come in and sit down. It's a departmental team building event. Free meals. He just glanced at it without looking closely. But you can still tell that she is a beauty, and she looks a bit like President Su. Silence everyone. No one dared to speak, and Wan Hai frowned. What do single people think? Hurry up and invite the beautiful lady in. No wonder you're single, seize the opportunity. Wan Hai thought, if the tigress at home hadn't been so strict, he would have done it himself. As a result, everyone in the department looked at him eagerly. Give him crazy looks. That meaning, as if to say, Minister Wang, we kneel down to you. Open your eyes and take a good look. Wan Hai scratched his head and looked back carefully. I felt like, oh shit, in my heart. Is this Mr. Su? Am I still asleep or has the world gone crazy? Oh, it's President Su. Please come in quickly. Wan Hai's legs went limp and he went up to him with a smile. However, Su Zining looked cold and simply ignored him. I found a seat that was most suitable for watching Jiang Chen's performance. The entire RD department was stunned. They did see clearly that it was President Su. But, I can't accept it. Damn, when did President Su ever wear clothes like this? It's obvious that her professional attire is semi-permanent. There was silence for a full minute, a very long minute. Only then did they calm down and greet Su Zining one after another. Jiang Chen shrugged helplessly and looked at this group of useless people. How could Su Xianyo scare you like this? In an instant, he looked at Su Zining with a smile on his face. Boss. Mr. Su, shall I start? Su Zining nodded. Jiang Chen snapped his fingers, and there was no movement for a long time. He glared at the little wolf fiercely again, and the little wolf finally came back to his senses from the shock. He stood up and quickly pushed a piano out from the corner. The moment the little wolf looked into Jiang Chen's eyes, his face was full of innocence. Brother Chen, don't blame me for forgetting, it's just that your cousin's influence was too strong. Boss Su, it looks like Jiang Chen is planning to play the piano. Wan Hai said with a shameless smile. Su Zining said coldly. I know that's a piano. Wan Hai. Hit their horseshoe. Jiang Chen gently stroked the keys of the piano, and a melodious tune floated in the hall. He turned around, looked at everyone, and his voice was low and magnetic. The one who loves but cannot be loved. Don't even think about it. It's all stupidity. After he finished speaking, Jiang Chen leaned over and sat quietly in front of the piano. As early as last night, he had finalized the repertoire, the songs he would play. The difficulty is not high, but the twists and turns, and the progressive rhythm are touching. In fact, it was risky for Jiang Chen to choose this song. It is so famous that everyone here should have heard of it. But last night, Jiang Chen was immersed in the sound of his own piano for a long time. He likes it, so he wants to play it. Dream Wedding. The piano starts playing, the prelude is low, but the music is compact. Music has a soul, it makes people intoxicated and immersed in the music. Jiang Chen's slender fingers slid across the keys, and his profile looked clean and gentle. Halfway through the song, notes jump and emotions burst out. The ending part seems to be shining with a beam of light. Su Zining swallowed hard. She seemed to hear Jiang Chen's voice. Su Zining had naturally heard the original wedding song in her dream, and the whole song revealed a sense of emotion. A kind of helplessness towards the world and the helplessness of seeking but not being able to obtain the perfect love that is out of the world. The notes played by Jiang Chen are full of hope and expectation. Especially the short part at the end of the song made everyone cry. No one made a sound during the entire performance. They are all immersed in their own memories of unrequited love. They held their breath, fearing that the slightest sigh would ruin the melodious and graceful sound of the piano. After playing the last note, Jiang Chen let out a long breath. Fortunately, I didn't perform badly. Bo. Thank you, everyone. Jiang Chen's words were like a fuse. At this moment, no one was restrained from speaking because of Su Zining's presence. At this moment, Su Zining, like them, was a listener intoxicated by the sound of the piano. I couldn't get the love I wanted, but the ending I heard was actually full of hope. The gap in status and the deviation in feelings should not be the shackles of love. For a dream wedding and that moved lover, just having a big dream is enough. The woman in the RD department, who had carefully put on makeup, cried with excitement and her makeup was ruined. The sentimental man fell silent, and even the little wolf who had been laughing all the time bit his lower lip. The employee who was eating in the restaurant next door put down his chopsticks and thought of the person he loved but could not have. The uncle in the cafeteria thought about the wasted half of his life. My thoughts drift to a rainy night when I pretend to be calm. That morning when I suddenly woke up and my tears soaked my pillow and rubbed into the air affectionately. If there really is a dream wedding in this world, then they don't want to wake up, are unwilling to wake up, and are even willing to give up everything in exchange. But Jiang Chen's piano playing woke them up. Tell them that there is hope, light and her ahead. A dream wedding, if you have a dream, why can't it become reality? Jiang Chen. Tears welled up in Su Zining's eyes. Her understanding is the deepest. It is foolish to even think about the person you cannot love. She only felt her scalp tingling and her whole body was shaking. To Jiang Chen, wasn't she the one he loved but couldn't get before? What is the difference between an employee and a president, with such a huge gap in status, and the princess warrior in the story behind Tsuho? But Jiang Chen told her with a note full of expectation and hope. Jiang Chen would reach out and hold her hand. Break the shackles of the world and pursue the purest true love in the world. If he wants to do it, he can do it. Su Zining raised her eyes, and her red eyes happened to meet Jiang Chen's. She wanted to cry. The contract worth several hundred million yuan fell through, but Su Zining did not cry. Even when a partner broke a contract and something terrible happened, Su Zining never thought of crying. But at this moment, she wanted to cry. Boss Su, are you satisfied? Jiang Chen naturally saw that Su Zining wanted to cry. His original intention was to ease the atmosphere. My wife is so beautiful, such a delicate beauty, shedding tears, and being seen by those people in the RD department. Is this something they can watch without paying? Su Zining nodded tenderly and slowly stood up. Because I'm used to wearing professional attire, I feel a little shy about wearing a JK uniform. At this moment, she was like a princess, under the gaze of everyone in the RD department. Walk slowly towards Jiang Chen. She stretched out her white arms and hugged Jiang Chen's waist. Just like the determination in Jiang Chen's music style, I don't want to love without getting it. He wants to be loved, so he has the courage to confess his feelings late at night. He wants to break the shackles of the world, so he adapted this dream wedding song today. Su Zining was thinking the same thing at this moment. He firmly believed in Jiang Chen, with full expectations and admiration. At this moment, she really wanted to hug Jiang Chen. She doesn't care what other people think. If she wants to hug, then hug. Chapter 23, We are not afraid of too many fools, we are just afraid of all the fools gathering together. There was a sudden warmth in my arms. Jiang Chen was helpless yet relieved, and whispered gently. So many people are watching, President Su. Su Zining snorted, so what? Humph, let them watch. This is my company. I can hug whoever I want. Jiang Chen sighed. In fact, he has always been reluctant to expose his relationship with Su Zining. It's easy to scare these people at the same time. Another thing is that others will mistakenly think that Jiang Chen is a gigolo. Damn, it's obviously my talent that counts. However, at this stage, Jiang Chen still didn't know how to explain it. Mr. Su, who has always been extremely aloof, throws himself into her arms. Even if Jiang Chen had 8 mouths, he couldn't explain it. I stole a glance at my colleagues in the audience, and saw that their eyes were wide open. Jaw dropping. As for the little wolf, his face was filled with relief, and he tried his best to wink at Jiang Chen. Brother Chen, can I help you explain it? Damn, I really want to tell you your identity. I'm dying of suffocation. Jiang Chen's eyes lit up. What the hell, brother? You finally figured it out after eating so many walnuts. Yes, Su Zining is my wife. At the same time, Jiang Chen also made a hush gesture. Signal to the little wolf not to say anything. In the little wolf's eyes, Jiang Chen's sudden bright look was not what he thought. Oh shit, Brother Chen is telling me this. Brother, come on. Tell them I'm Mr. Su's cousin-in-law. Scare them to death, but speak softly and tell them not to disturb Mr. Su. The little wolf took a long breath and nodded vigorously. We must do what Brother Chen has asked us to do. He quickly looked at his shocked colleagues and whispered, "Are you guys confused? Why did President Su hug Jiang Chen?" My colleagues gave me puzzled looks. "Damn, we are really confused, right? Aren't you confused?" they asked in unison. "Do you know why?" The little wolf had a sly smile on his face. "I fucking know it. I won't keep you in suspense either. Brother Chen is Mr. Su's cousin-in-law." Everyone refuted the little wolf at once. "You were just a kid playing house at the time, how could you just say such nonsense? I would rather believe that Jesus stood up from the coffin. This is nonsense, no one would believe it, right? Wen Hai, I believe it. I testify, it is true." Wen Hai spoke, and the scene was silent for a while. No matter how stupid he is still the director of the RD department. He is a senior executive of the company and must know more than the employees. Now, his words are like a stabilizing force that pierces everyone's heart. The little wolf curled his lips. "Now do you understand? How's Brother Chen's piano playing? Is it particularly good? Boss Su is also a human being, he can empathize with others, he gets excited. What's wrong with hugging Brother Chen? They are a family." Everyone suddenly realized that this was the case. "Wife, a small meeting has just finished downstairs. Haven't you hugged me enough yet?" Jiang Chen grinned fiercely, his waist was about to break. "This girl is so skinny and weak, how come her hands are so strong?" Su Zining pouted and loosened her arms. Her face is shy and her red lips are slightly parted. "Jiang Chen, you have the afternoon off. Are we going on a date?" Jiang Chen smiled slightly and nodded. "Good." Su Zining winked at him playfully and gently stroked Jiang Chen's waist with her right hand. "I'll wait for you in the office." After saying that, Su Zining left the restaurant hall without even turning back. She was actually just thinking about how to explain it to the employees in the audience. The final conclusion is no explanation. No matter what they guess, Su Zining doesn't care. She has more important things to do. That's it. While Jiang Chen was eating, she quickly put on some makeup. A sweet date with Jiang Chen in the afternoon tilde. "I'm sorry, everyone. President Su was a little excited just now. Shall we eat and play some games?" Jiang Chen frowned slightly and explained casually. He wasn't sure whether everyone believed it or not. "After all, I just saw." Cough cough. In an instant, the whole hall was filled with the cry of a monkey. "Fuck, Brother Chen is awesome, he actually hooked up with Mr. Su's cousin. He is truly a role model for modern men. Jiang Chen, although I am sad that I can't have you, I still want to wish you the best. I also wish you the best, Brother Chen, and hope you and Cousin Su will be well." Jiang Chen felt completely numb. What the hell is wrong with this group of people? As a result, the culprit, Little Wolf, came over and raised his eyebrows and smiled. "Brother Chen, I have explained everything to you." "You're welcome." Jiang Chen paused and touched the tip of his nose. "So this is what the Little Wolf's eyes meant. But when I think about it, it doesn't make sense. How could everyone believe Xiaolang's outrageous statement that I am Mr. Su's cousin-in-law? Does anyone believe your nonsense?" The little wolf was stunned for a moment. Wen Hai explained it to everyone and said it was true. He should have known it from President Su, right? Jiang Chen. Oh my god. What the hell does this have to do with anything? How did Wen Hai know? Can anyone give me a perfect explanation? My ears were filled with everyone calling him General Su's cousin-in-law. Jiang Chen was completely numb. He was just a stupid little wolf before, and now he is a whole bunch of idiots. Is the place where he works a den of idiots? But on second thought, being misunderstood like this is not without benefits. With a sigh, Jiang Chen gave up the idea of explaining. At 2 o'clock, the team building ended. After his colleagues left, Jiang Chen went straight to Su Zining's office. "Wife, let's go on a date." Su Zining curled her lips and glanced at Jiang Chen with a look full of charm. "Who said they wanted to date you?" Snort. Jiang Chen directly put on the mask of pain. "Why does this woman change every now and then? Then I won't go. I'm going home to play games." Su Zining was shocked. "Huh? Jiang Chen? You bastard." Seeing that Jiang Chen was really about to go out, Su Zining became anxious. This idiot, didn't you see that I have been preparing carefully for so long? Return. Where and how to date? Jiang Chen raised the corner of his mouth slightly. He is very good at managing Su Zining. Honey, what do you want to do? Su Zining shook her head. She had never been on a date and didn't even know what a date was for. Even the word date was only seen in Korean dramas. Jiang Chen suggested shopping and watching a movie. Or should we go to the amusement park? Suddenly, Su Zining's mouth corners curled up slightly. He looked at Jiang Chen with cunning eyes. Of course I listened to my boyfriend. After all, we have you and me, no matter where we go. It's all considered a date. Humph, Jiang Chen. Isn't it just love talk? I can too. Jiang Chen took a deep breath of cold air. A bit provocative. Then let's just go to Qianhe Plaza and hang out. I just happen to be buying some clothes for the changing season. Su Zining was horrified. Shopping, no problem. Buying clothes is no problem. But going to Qianhe Plaza? That is Dad Su Qianhe's property and his main place of activity. If this was hit by my dad. However, Su Zining didn't want to reject Jiang Chen. Chapter 24. The best, of course, should be reserved for Jiang Chen. There's a new convenience store opening over at New Century. How about we go hang out there? Su Zining suddenly had an idea and suggested. That's fine. Jiang Chen nodded. He wanted to go to Qianhe Plaza because of the card Su Qianhe gave him. Can get a discount. But since Su Zining wants to go to New Century, then let us go to New Century. The 2,000 bond points for the morning have been credited. If I go shopping in the afternoon, I will get another hidden task. With another 2,000 points, you can redeem a villa directly in the system mall tonight. Su Zining smiled slightly. That's great. In this way, I can go shopping with Jiang Chen peacefully. Don't worry about running into Dad. Qianhe Plaza, a luxurious office. Su Qianhe hesitated and touched his beard. He wanted to prepare a gift. Then he asked Jiang Chen to bring him to his good son-in-law. But it's so difficult to choose what to give. Because I don't understand them, I'm afraid people won't like it if I give them something expensive. I want to do something thoughtful, but I'm afraid it's too cheap. A knock on the door brought Su Qianhe back to his senses. The secretary walked slowly into the office. Director Su, you can get ready to go at any time. Su Qianhe nodded. Half an hour, I'll take a break. Then let's go over there. The secretary respectfully left the office. Su Qianhe sat down in the recliner and rubbed his temples. Muttered. Forget it, let's go check out the scale of New Century convenience store first. See if there is anything worth learning from. As for the gift, I'll tell you when I think of it. Among the many convenience stores in Jinghai City, Qianhe Plaza can definitely be called the best. But even so, Su Qianhe did not let down his guard. But always keep the heart of an apprentice. Just recently, a convenience store called New Century suddenly emerged. Su Qianhe had already made an appointment with the boss of New Century to visit it this afternoon. See if there is anything worth learning from. New Century. There were red ribbons floating at the door, blown by the breeze and floating in the blue sky. The little boy staggered behind his grandmother, smiling happily as he held the free marshmallows in his hand. All kinds of vendors did not miss this area with huge flow of people and shouted loudly to make a living. Shared bicycles are arranged neatly and sanitation workers keep the ground clean at all times. As soon as Jiang Chen and Su Zining got off the car, they met a little girl holding flowers. It looks like a porcelain doll, so cute. She spoke to Jiang Chen in a soft voice. Big brother, my sister is so beautiful, you won't refuse to buy her a bouquet of flowers, right? Jiang Chen raised the corner of his mouth and squatted down. He asked, looking at the framed bouquet of roses in the little girl's hand. How much is a bouquet? The little girl holds flowers in her left hand and extends a finger with her right hand. $10 a bunch. Jiang Chen naturally would not refuse to prepare such a small gift for Su Zining. Picked a bunch of the most colorful ones. Just as he was about to take out his mobile phone to pay, Su Zining pulled him back. Su Zining said with a pout. I like this bouquet, I want to buy it. You buy the others. Jiang Chen was confused. Damn, hasn't Su Xiaolang woken up yet? Didn't I buy it for you? He shrugged helplessly and said to the little girl. Since my sister is buying it herself, I won't buy it. Su Zining raised the corner of her mouth slightly and paid the money. My little boyfriend, don't you want to buy me flowers? Jiang Chen was helpless. I missed it so much. But you snatched the best looking one. Brother, this bouquet is also good. Take this one. After all, the meaning of a sister buying something for herself and a brother buying something for his sister is different. The little girl said this obediently, and Jiang Chen looked at her. Although not as bright as the one that Su Zining snatched away, it was still acceptable. Okay. After paying, the little girl skipped away. Jiang Chen rolled his eyes at Su Zining and handed over the bouquet of flowers. Here, this is for you. Su Zining did not refuse and spoke gently. Thank you, my little boyfriend Hilder. This bouquet is for you. Su Zining grabbed Jiang Chen's hand and handed him the bouquet of brighter and more beautiful flowers that she had snatched away. Then he whispered. I was just thinking that love is a matter between two parties. Why is it that the public definition is that boys give flowers to girls? So I bought this bouquet for you, Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen was stunned for a moment, then reacted. Su Zining rushed to buy the brightest one, not cutting in. Instead, I want to give him the most beautiful flowers. As for herself, she chose the second best one and chose the one that was not particularly bright. Don't take the best for yourself, but give it to me. This silly girl. Holding hands. Jiang Chen did not answer, but extended his right hand. At this moment, Su Zining had a smile on her face. Why does it feel like Jiang Chen is feeling a little uncomfortable outside? In short, there is no attack in the office. Hold. The two held hands and walked into the building side by side. Su Zining was still wearing the JK uniform, with her hair loose and 3,000 strands of hair like a waterfall. With delicate makeup, her peach blossom eyes looked at Jiang Chen playfully from time to time. As for Jiang Chen, he is as handsome as ever. The two of them had a perfect height difference, which attracted the attention of countless people. A young couple who had just finished shopping saw Jiang Chen and Su Zining. They looked at each other with expressions of disgust on their faces. See. Damn, such long legs, this is the standard girlfriend. You son of a bitch, you're staring at me. But that brother is so handsome too, he's the boyfriend of my dreams. As for the follow-up, those who understand will understand. At the cold drink shop at the entrance, Jiang Chen ordered 2 sundaes. Su Zining frowned slightly and glanced at the young couple arm in arm in the mall. Ask Jiang Chen. Why do those boys wear rubber bands? They don't have to wear braids. Jiang Chen smiled gently and leaned close to Su Zining's ear carefully. Explained. That is not their own will. My girlfriend forced me to do it. When a boy wears a small rubber band, it means he has a wife and won't be harassed by other girls. Su Zining's eyes lit up. Indeed. This is indeed a good idea. Especially for someone like Jiang Chen, just walking this short distance. I can't even count how many women have secretly glanced at him. If I don't follow them, they will ask for WeChat, right? No, no. Why, you want to wear it for me too? Jiang Chen handed a prepared sundae to Su Zining and asked with a smile. No. Su Zining took a sip of the ice cream and shook her head. She really wanted to give it to Jiang Chen, but everyone else was wearing a small rubber band. This way, there is nothing new. Su Zining fell into deep thought. Right. This thing looks like it can be worn on a hand. What Su Zining said next almost made Jiang Chen choke to death on his ice cream. Jiang Chen, how about I put a shoulder strap on you? Chapter 25 Prodder, Jiang Chen is so handsome. Jiang Chen was stunned and suddenly stopped. The big brother who was walking behind and was concentrating on playing with his mobile phone almost bumped into Jiang Chen's back. Jiang Chen turned around and said with an apologetic look on his face. Excuse me. The eldest brother was very straightforward and waved his hand to indicate that it was okay. Jiang Chen smiled awkwardly, touched the tip of his nose, and looked at Su Zining with a teasing look. Honey, are you sure? What are shoulder straps? Jiang Chen took such a long time to react, but he could only think of one possibility. The shoulder straps removed from the girl's clothes. Can something else be called a shoulder strap? Can it be tied to your hands? If you don't want to, you can leave it untied. A blush flashed across Su Zining's face. She suddenly thought of the shoulder strap. Indeed, no other woman would give a shoulder strap to her boyfriend. So she just said it directly. But now that I think about it carefully, this is very troublesome. Of course, this shoulder strap needs to be removed from the small clothes. So what's the point of using a new one? Use the ones she wore? No way. Also, how to choose the color and style. This is all very troublesome. The quickest solution is to let Jiang Chen choose by himself. But is this possible? Su Zining could say responsibly in her heart, it's impossible. Where did I say I didn't want to? When will you take it down from me? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple, make me a colorful ribbon. Jiang Chen chuckled. This is a good thing. If this had happened to Jesus, that guy would have stood up and laughed. There is another point, which is the reason Jiang Chen wants. The passive skill of the system. Accept a gift from your partner and gain 1000 bond points per time. Su Zining burst out laughing and glanced at Jiang Chen with resentment. The little woman's temperament is full. Hello, Jiang Chen, colorful ribbons. How could you think of that? HMPH, let me pick out some clothes for you first. Let me think about the shoulder straps. Su Zining smiled playfully and walked towards the Prada counter. Jiang Chen took a breath of cold air. It seems that Su Xianyo buying clothes for me can also be counted as bond value. Wife, I need pants, a coat and a shirt. In short, I'm short of everything I wear. Why don't you just buy me a set? Oh, and socks and kutu. Jiang Chen smiled and calculated, taking into account everything he could think of. If Su Zining sent it to everyone, the total bond value should be 10,000 points. A beautiful and enthusiastic salesgirl was standing at the door. As a salesperson at Prada, she always keeps the brand's classic slogan in mind. If you like it, come in. If you don't, get out. But when she saw Jiang Chen and Su Zining's stunning looks, her face was filled with envy. This is a match made in heaven, right? Customers like this don't like Prada. I'll just kneel down and beg you to come in. Mr. and Miss, New Century Plaza has just opened. Today's event discount is at its lowest point. It's a good deal. Can I show you around? Jiang Chen smiled and nodded. It's troublesome. The store's decoration is luxurious and extravagant, fully displaying Prada's top style. Neatly arranged, each piece of clothing has a unique design. Su Zining couldn't help but mutter. I wish when the quality of Ledger's clothes can reach this level. I guess if the other people in the RD department had half the ability of my boyfriend. There is hope, right? Su Zining frowned. It was an occupational habit. She was serious about finding fault. The neckline of this dress is ugly. It doesn't suit you. The width of the shoulders is a bit awkward, don't buy it. This one is too old, it's only suitable for my dad. After passing through one piece of clothing after another, Su Zining saw a burgundy casual jacket. After staring for a long while, he nodded with satisfaction. This one is pretty good, and the pattern is lively. How about trying it? Jiang Chen nodded. He also felt that the dress was nice as soon as he entered the door. Good. The shopping guide came over after hearing the voice, found the size and took Jiang Chen to the fitting room. And in the store lobby, a mocking voice was heard. Hubby, look how embarrassing it is for them to take so long to choose. I had the problem of picking out all kinds of clothes, and finally I chose the cheapest one. Su Zining frowned slightly and glanced at him out of the corner of her eye. It was a young couple wearing trendy brands talking, and the man looked like a rich second generation. Then he looked away and ignored them. It's just clothes. The truth is that Jiang Chen likes it and she likes it too. Show me some formal wear for men. The salesgirl nodded. Yes, miss. This way please. Coincidentally, the formal wear selection area was right next to where the young couple was. The main entrance of New Century Plaza. The Rolls-Royce slowly stopped and Su Qianhe got out. Then, a man in a suit came up to them. Brother Su is still so energetic. Su Qianhe glanced at the man in the suit. His name is Zhang Yi, and he is the founder of New Century Plaza. Now in his early 30s, he started his business through investment and definitely has business acumen. Su Qianhe laughed heartily. Brother Zhang's condition in the previous photo was not quite up to par. Zhang Yi sighed. Who in this world doesn't he have worries? Brother Su, come to my office and sit down first. We have just opened our business, so there are indeed some difficult things that I need to ask you for advice. Su Zining replied with satisfaction and asked his secretary to wait in the car. A man followed Zhang Yi into New Century Plaza. As the saying goes, to judge the strength of a convenience store, first look at its first impression. Like the first floor of the New Century in front of us, what catches your eye are the world-renowned luxury brands. It is a symbol of strength. After taking a few quick glances, Su Zining was also thinking frantically in his mind. Finally, my eyes fixed on the sign of the Prada store. Low-key, luxurious and meaningful, it instantly tops the list. After talking with Zhang Yi, I decided to go to Prada first. If Su Zining took another closer look inside the store, his jaw would drop. Because, he will find out. The figure of his beloved daughter Su Zining. At this moment in the store, Jiang Chen had already put on new clothes. Walked straight towards Su Zining. Jiang Chen waved his hand and looked in the mirror. He originally thought that it must be very handsome. But now it seems that he was wrong. This is not very handsome, this is extremely handsome, right? How? Su Zining's eyes lit up and she nodded obediently. Well, it looks better when you put it on. Even the salesgirl was intoxicated. If it weren't for her lack of authority, she would have wanted to ask Prada to change her poster spokesperson. Sir, it's very beautiful. Jiang Chen nodded, moved closer to Su Zining, and gestured with the tag. See if the price is acceptable. Su Zining pouted. In this world, there are two things about her that cannot be questioned. First, its appearance. Second, it is financial resources. With a graceful smile, silly, as long as you like it. Jiang Chen took a breath of cold air. Although he was worried before that others would mistake him for a gigolo. He doesn't want to be a gigolo either. If he wants to make money, Jiang Chen can rely on his memories of his past life to invest in stocks or buy lottery tickets and make a fortune. If all else fails, you can always change it in the system store. You won't be dissuaded by a piece of clothing with a price tag of 28,888. But I have to say, the things my wife gives me as a gift are different from the things I buy myself. It feels so fucking good. But suddenly, an inopportune voice sounded. It's Prada's cheapest piece of clothing. They don't even have loose threads on it. Chapter 26 Angry. What right do you have to slander me? Looking towards the source of the sound, Jiang Chen frowned. The person who was speaking was a man dressed in trendy brands, and he looked quite handsome just by looking at his clothes. But when Jiang Chen saw his face, he was very confused. Damn, man, just dye your hair. There are so many colors for you to choose from, such as red, orange, yellow, green, blue and purple. You dyed it green. I don't know what to think. Indeed, there were a few threads on the clothes, and Jiang Chen discovered them when he was trying them on. Jiang Chen was also confused for a moment, but he felt relieved when he saw the tag. This top is a handmade piece from Prada. Moreover, as an internationally renowned brand, don't its clothes undergo layers of inspection before leaving the factory? That is obviously impossible. If you look closely at those lines, you can inexplicably discover a sense of beauty. Jiang Chen is a designer, especially when it comes to handmade clothes, and he is very particular about them. A few lines are deliberately left to reflect the simplicity of the craftsmanship and the overall perfection. He shrugged helplessly, he was too lazy to explain to this ignorant green-haired monster. He turned around and smiled at Su Zining. As a sales employee, the salesgirl naturally understands the significance of a few thread ends. She said to the man with a dagger hidden in her smile. Sir, if you continue to defame our brand, I have the right to ask you to leave. The man's eyes turned cold. How dare a small shop assistant talk to him like this? But on second thought, an evil idea emerged in my heart. I, Tang Yuan, am a VIP here shopping. You don't have the right to chase me away, right? It's normal for me to express my opinions in your store. You also have no right to shut me up. But if you agree to sell me that suit at 20% off, how about I just leave without looking back? The corners of Tang Yuan's mouth curved slightly. Otherwise, I would just stay here all the time and chatter to every person who comes in. I wonder who would buy clothes from your store? It's just a small store, so Tang Yuan isn't he really afraid of them causing trouble? As for Prada looking for him? Tang Yuan had never thought about it. Because no one is too lazy to pay attention to him. This wave is probably what we call a villainous success, right? Sir, it is indeed 20% off during the promotion period. But we clearly stated that the limited edition custom suit was not included. Please respect yourself. The salesgirl refused coldly. His eyes were full of contempt for Tang Yuan. He had been staying here for more than an hour. He wanted to buy the limited edition custom-made suit at a 20% discount, otherwise he wouldn't leave, and kept making sarcastic remarks in the store, which was a headache. Jiang Chen rolled his eyes. This person is not only ignorant but also shameless. If the salesgirl could sell something, she would have done it long ago. Who doesn't he want sales? But it is clearly written on the sign, limited editions not included. If the shopping guide sells it to you at a 20% discount, there are only two results. 1. Make up the difference yourself. Second, the boss broke the man's bones. This kind of rogue behavior is actually not uncommon in convenience stores. Jiang Chen just complained in his heart and didn't mean to care. It's Prader and Tang Yuan's business and has nothing to do with him. But as Jiang Chen watched, Su Zining's expression changed from frowning to surprise, and finally her eyes lit up. Limited edition custom model. While Jiang Chen was trying on clothes, Su Zining took a quick glance at the suits here. Not bad, but nothing particularly eye-catching. They are all called limited edition custom models. It shouldn't be bad, right? Yes, miss. Our brand is launching a customized anniversary edition to give back to our consumers. I'll find a concept map for you to see. The salesgirl felt as if she was freed when she heard Su Zining's voice. Finally, there is a reason to get rid of the unreasonable Tang Yuan. When she came back, she was holding a blueprint in her hand. Take a look at the general pattern. When Su Zining saw the drawing, her eyes suddenly lit up. He pulled Jiang Chen's arm and sat on the sofa beside him. Jiang Chen, look, this style is really nice. There's a feeling of being mature but not old, steady but not heavy. Jiang Chen nodded slightly. Indeed, but isn't this price a bit expensive? Jiang Chen glanced at the selling price stealthily. The price is nearly 600,000. It does look nice, but it's a bit expensive and not necessary for a piece of clothing. Su Zining turned her head and asked, how long will this customization take? The salesgirl quickly explained with a smile. Miss, after you pay the deposit, our staff will come to your house tomorrow to help you measure your body measurements. Although it's a custom-made model, it's limited in quantity, so it only takes about a week to receive it. As a custom, it's pretty fast. Su Zining bit her lower lip lightly and looked at Jiang Chen playfully. Do you like it? Seeing that Jiang Chen was about to shake his head, Su Zining quickly changed the tone. Okay, I got it. After he finished speaking, Su Zining turned his head away. Jiang Chen's expression clearly showed that he was a little reluctant because of the price. However, Su Zining clearly felt that Jiang Chen liked her. Only 600,000. It can buy my boyfriend's love and happiness. What a value! My husband, Su Zining, deserves all the good things. He must have what others have, and he must also have what others don't have. Snort. Swipe the card. Su Zining casually pulled out a bank card from her bag. The salesgirl was stunned for a moment. Miss, would you like to reconsider this? Once you pay the deposit, it cannot be refunded. Su Zining waved her hand and smiled slightly. No, just swipe it. Pay the full amount, only 600,000. The salesgirl's face was filled with surprise, and she did not forget to glance at Tang Yuan before leaving. Just look at them. Jiang Chen's mouth curled up fiercely. Only 600,000. Jiang Chen, leave your address later and remember to measure your body tomorrow. Don't bother. I think this suit suits you very well. Su Zining said with a pout. She has never had any concept of money. She thinks it is just a string of numbers. Even when she was spending money on herself, she never had any mood swings. But today, she felt it for the first time. Spending money can make you feel so comfortable. Maybe it's because the money is used to buy things for Jiang Chen? Su Zining thought probably. Huh? This scene made Tang Yuan, who was standing next to him, dumbfounded. Damn, you bought it already? That's the dress I liked. Full payment. This woman is so rich. I just spent a month messing around with my dad and only got 400,000. Turns out, this man is not only more handsome than me. This dress was snatched away by him? The self-esteem in his heart was infinitely impacted, and his face became distorted. Said sarcastically. Oh, so he's just a pretty boy. As soon as the words fell, the man felt a chill. He raised his head and found Su Zining looking at him with cold eyes. This man before. They said Su Zining picked the cheapest items for Jiang Chen and that her clothes looked tacky. Since he was talking about Su Zining herself, she didn't want to pay any attention to him. Su Zining's heart is immune to all poisons and can withstand the slander from others. But, when it comes to Jiang Chen, Su Zining can't bear it. She can be wronged, she can be criticized. But why should we talk about Jiang Chen? Why do you slander me, Su Zining's beloved boyfriend? Apologize. Chapter 27. Jiang Chen can read faces. Who is calling? Tang Yuan sneered and glanced at Su Zining. Apologize. There is no such word as apology in my dictionary. Just because you have money is so great. Do you really think I can't come up with these hundreds of thousands? You are so beautiful, your money may not be clean, right? Tang Yuan is actually not a fool, judging from Su Zining's conversation and temperament. It's easy to tell that she's from a wealthy family. But his self-esteem was dealt a heavy blow. That's why I said this sentence for some unknown reason. Su Zining frowned and was about to speak when she felt her arm being pulled. Then, Jiang Chen's gentle voice rang in her ears. Stand behind your husband. Su Zining was stunned, but Jiang Chen had already stood in front of her. Suddenly, an inexplicable sense of security emerged in my heart. Ding, Tang Yuan is detected slandering his lover, triggering a hidden mission. Reward for your lover, 2,000 points of bond value. You know, this is Jiang Chen's first 2,000-point mission. But Jiang Chen's face was full of black lines, and there was no smile on his face. Jiang Chen, will you shut up? Jiang Chen, are you the one issuing the task at this time? System, sweat gif. Host, don't be mean, I'll just shut up. What the hell, you're running into the muzzle of a gun at this time. Jiang Chen cursed secretly. Venting Su Zining's anger was no longer a decision Jiang Chen had to make based on the 2,000 bond points. It's something he has to do. Has Su Zining ever suffered any injustice at work or at home? I'm out shopping with you now, and you, a green-haired monster, point your finger at my face. When beating a dog, do you still look at the owner? Don't you even look at whose wife this is? Tang Yuan, I've actually heard of you a long time ago. Tang Yuan was stunned when he saw Jiang Chen suddenly standing up. In the end, Jiang Chen just said this to him. I couldn't help laughing. So. Jiang Chen raised the corner of his mouth slightly. I recently learned about it from a friend of mine who is in the hospital. He said there's a young master named Tang in Jinghai who's handsome and fashionable. But I just have some health problems, so I may not be able to continue the incense. Tang Yuan's expression changed drastically. What nonsense are you talking about? Jiang Chen waved his hand, smiling with a dagger hidden in his heart. Your reaction actually means you admit it, doesn't it? I didn't say it was you, why are you reacting so strongly? Let me tell you one more thing, which was also told to me by a doctor friend of mine. TSK, your girlfriend. Jiang Chen paused deliberately. Suddenly, the woman next to Tang Yuan was stunned and glared at Jiang Chen. What do you mean? At this time, Tang Yuan was already numb. What Jiang Chen said was indeed true, he was sick. And recently, he actually went to the hospital for a checkup. Moreover, his girlfriend has indeed been vomiting frequently these days. An idea is rising infinitely in my heart. Jiang Chen continued. After all, he's Tang Long's biological son, so it's normal for him to be a little arrogant. Next Tuesday is your birthday, why don't you deal with this green hat? Tang Yuan swallowed hard. Jiang Chen knew that his father was Tang Long? And, you know that next Tuesday is his birthday. In such a short time, Jiang Chen was able to collect so many clues. He couldn't help but shudder. This man was definitely not an ordinary person. Thinking of this, he had complete faith in Jiang Chen. He turned around and locked his eyes on the woman beside him. Tang Yuan felt his blood pressure soar and he slapped the woman in the face. Bitch, how dare you cheat on me? The roar attracted the attention of other VIPs in the store. Tang Yuan felt ashamed for a moment, and he grabbed the woman's hair and walked out. Jiang Chen let out a long breath and a playful smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Alas, this child is in a hurry and I haven't finished speaking yet. My friend told me that your girlfriend has had stomach problems recently, and she suffers from severe nausea and vomiting easily. I asked you to deal with the cuckold just because it doesn't look good. Why do you hit me? Scumbag, bar. Ding, congratulations to their host for venting anger for his partner, and gaining a bond value of 2,000 points. Jiang Chen, sensible. System, as long as their host is happy, is this skill satisfactory? Jiang Chen, it's okay, but it's a bit useless to only be able to read one person's report a day. System, will be upgraded later. Please GIF. That's right, the system just interrupted and Jiang Chen yelled at me. The system was frightened enough, fearing that the host would be angry, so it gave a perfect physical examination skill. Using it on a person can help you understand his or her physical condition. Jiang Chen originally planned to scold Tang Yuan severely, but he felt that it was too brainless. Let us conduct a physical examination on Tang Yuan. You don't know until you see it, and you'll be shocked when you see it. This child is really seriously ill. So the scene just now happened. He rubbed his temple and patted Su Zining's shoulder gently. What was my wife thinking? That ignorant green-headed monster is gone. Su Zining's eyes were as bright as waves, and she hugged Jiang Chen coquettishly. Although she is usually cold and thinks she doesn't care about rumors. But after all, she is also a flesh and blood person, and she will be sad when being slandered. In the past, she always faced it alone. Either ignore it or don't care, she thinks, as long as she is busy. You can forget all the troubles and unhappiness. Today she wanted to vent her anger on Jiang Chen, but Jiang Chen's behavior made her feel deeply loved once again. Sense of security, the strong sense of security that Jiang Chen gave her. The feeling of being protected and held carefully in someone's hands. The man really gave me the sense of security he talked about when he confessed his love. How did you know that Tang Yuan had that disease? Jiang Chen chuckled. He's already cuckolded. I can read your husband's face. Lingmu is certain. He must be seriously ill. Su Zining was shocked and asked. So you can tell his girlfriend is pregnant? Jiang Chen quickly shook his head, his face full of grievance. I just mentioned his girlfriend, I didn't say his girlfriend was pregnant. Su Zining thought about it carefully, it seemed. Really? Then he burst out laughing. You are so mean. Although she was laughing on the surface, Su Zining had already memorized the names Tang Yuan and Tang Long. Just at this moment the salesgirl also came over with the registration form. This limited edition custom model is only available in my home. You are so lucky, sir. Jiang Chen smiled faintly and wrote down his contact information and address. My wife just loves me. The salesgirl looked at Su Zining with a smile. She felt shy when Su Zining saw her and kept muttering to herself. So shy. Jiang Chen is really just talking nonsense outside. Hey. After buying the limited edition, there is nothing left to see at Prater. The two walked out of the counter arm in arm. My little boyfriend, keep buying you clothes. Jiang Chen's eyes lit up. It's great that my wife has this awareness. Okay, wife. Suddenly, Jiang Chen's cell phone rang. He frowned slightly. Who would call him on Friday afternoon? Xiaolang asked to play games. That shouldn't be the case. That guy should be accompanying Secretary Zhang, right? The moment Jiang Chen picked up the phone and saw the caller, his heart sank. This was the caller ID he least wanted to see. The destructive power was too great, and Jiang Chen had no way to resist. I can't refuse to answer it. Swallowing hard, Jiang Chen made a hush gesture towards Su Zining. Wife, be good and don't make any noise. Otherwise, your husband will die.